Hello, hello. Can everyone hear me okay? I'm so sorry, folks, about that. It has been a day, but let me first get I've got a little bit of a new setup going, so that's probably not helping, but I will fill you in just a sec. How is the sound for everyone at the minute? Can you hear me okay? All clear. Okay. I'm so sorry about that, folks. Long story short, my internet just fully bricked. And I had to go downstairs and I had to reset the router, and it literally happened like, I want to say like 5 minutes before I was about to put the stream starting screen on. What can you do, eh? What a day! How are you guys? How are you guys doing? Enough about the palaver. It happens. We're all human. It's one of those things. It happens. But I'm glad to be here with you guys. I'm in my chair. I told you not to chew through the cable. Yes, I am just caught up on the Discord. Sorry to keep you guys in suspense there for those that aren't on the Discord or are watching the recorded version of this. I did whip people up into a frenzy on there. And in fact, while I remember and while I'm letting you guys kind of tell me how you're doing and all of that jazz, I would be remiss if I did not post a link to the live stream in the announcements in the Discord. But yeah, how is everyone feeling? We'll give people just a little bit longer to filter in and come join us, and then we will get straight to it. Wrong cable, Kronk, says Martin. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just posting a little something. I'm doing it via my phone, so you're not absolutely, deafened by my big clunky keyboard, which is right by the mic right now. Let me see. Apologies for the delay, folks. That is what I'm typing, and also to you guys. New music playlist. I dig, says that Rob Human. Yeah, I'm always looking for new, specifically copyright-free stuff, so that I don't get stung or demonetized with the re-upload of this. But I really like it as well. It felt a little bit more appropriate for what we're doing today. I hope you agree. Valleybor, hey Valleybor, you're in here too. How's it going? It says, are you really living life to the fullest if you aren't eating cables by the handful? Crispy Acorn asks, what is this? That's a very good question. I'll fill you in just a sec. But crunchy keyboards is someone. Everyone, yeah, let's all just eat some, noodle spaghetti. Hello, chat. If only my friend would say he'd love the Kronk joke. Brilliant. So, yes, for those of you who maybe haven't been on Discord or haven't seen my last few announcements, or maybe just, want a refresher, if you're watching this right now or if you're watching this recording, I did my first ever art event over on the Ritfinch Discord, which has been really fun, and thank you to everyone for being so polite and so fun and so supportive of one another. In short, the brief was to design a canon compliant member of the Ordo Electi. We had a design document with some kind of like style guides, or you could lean into other fantasy settings. The world is quite diverse. A couple of things. It could either be a warden who is a non-awakened Ornata, or just a regular person, not an Ornata at all. Typically just a regular Joe, and then you could also design an Ornata, namely an awakened Ornata. So the two kinds of people who are found within the Ordo Electi. And more than anything, this was an opportunity to really encourage people to create 2D or 3D art of their own. So the ones that I'm featuring today are all the ones that adhered to every part of the brief, which was just that you're giving fully original 2D or 3D, all of them in this case 2D, a go from scratch, and it's not something that will get me demonetized, which thankfully none of this is. So thank you so much. I can't believe I forgot to draw my guy. Love your art. So someone, wait, what's going on? Where am I? Where are we going? Why are we in a handbasket? Yeah. I'm so glad to hear people had a lot of fun with the art event. It's honestly been, so much fun to run, and really massive kudos. There are people in this kind of set of designs I have here that just, by their own admission, were fully like, I have never done this before, I've never done art before, and that was kind of the whole point of this, is that, especially on that first Golden Bone video, I got so many individuals saying, I wish I could draw. And it's like, yeah, you can draw. Okay, your first drawing's never going to be your best one. I'd be the first to admit that. Oh boy, we're having buffering issues on the music. It's all going Pete Tong. Oh, it's one of those days. But yeah, your first drawing will never be good, but then you do another drawing, and then you do another drawing, and then you do several more drawings, and then you tear your hair out because you don't like those drawings. And eventually you will have something you're proud of and something you like, and hopefully, Giuliaria says, I love watching everyone's art come in throughout the month. Yeah, absolutely. People are working on short stories for their characters. See, this is the creativity I love to see. The creativity I'm seeing in the chat right now, love it. So I do want to say, regardless of if this is your first time drawing something or your 300th time drawing something, these are all, the fact that people made art is the success story here. So everyone in the chat, be nice and be respectful to everyone, be kind. We want to encourage people to make art here, not the opposite. Someone poured a lot of love and heart into all of these. Also, just as a little sidebar, I will try and read the usernames of the people who submitted, because that's what I have here. I've got my phone open with Discord just so I can kind of make sure. But obviously, if I do mispronounce your names or you're known by a different name in the chat, feel free to kind of put your digital hand up and go, that was me. Yeah, guys, be nice as others. Love the more subtle effects of the magic. Yes, absolutely. So one of the things as well is that the one I like the most, and I won't decide that today, I think I tried to make a point of glancing at people's work and reacting to it in the Discord, but I also tried not to look too closely after the first few, because I kind of want to experience it alongside you guys. I thought that would be a bit more interesting, a bit more fun. I could just offer some fun first impressions. But I'll then kind of go away, have a think, and one of these guys is going to become canon, which I thought would be kind of cool. The Ordo Electi are really big, and so in many ways you're doing me a favour, because I can pad out the numbers somewhat with a fun, interesting guy or gal or someone in between. They might not be a member anymore. They might have decided they just did their 3 years service and then went, bye-bye, no more, farewell. But yeah, absolutely. And look at the positivity in the chat, guys. I'm going to choke up. People really proud of my idea. People are wonderful. Okay, right. So without further ado, here is the kind of blank that I provided people for Wardens. And here's the blank for Ornata. So the few differences we're going to be seeing here are Wardens are humans. Ornata are humans as well, but Wardens are humans, you know. They don't have the... Sorry, I've got the hiccups. It's all going wrong today. They don't have the abilities of Ornata, but they make up a big chunk of the Ordo Electi. Wardens might be people who just bolster numbers, are there to support a unit that involves maybe some Ornata. They might also be handlers, so they might be people who keep an eye on awakened Ornata who need someone to keep them in check. And they're also there to provide weapons training because while they're not great at training up the kind of country bumpkins that come in with no fighting experience, they don't want the Ornata to die. They represent a pretty hefty investment, you know, so I'm just going to make this whole process easier, get my tablet out, which is going to make scrolling and flicking between some tabs a lot nicer for everyone involved. So I'm just going to do that. We're going to start as we mean to go on here. And then obviously we have the main event, which is Ornata. And we will be checking out all of the information about these very cool people. So let us, I'm just double checking the chat. Can I just say I really appreciate the template being so clean and easy. Oh, thank you, Sunny. That's really sweet. And also, I had some people, for the record, if you're full of anxiety, messaging me saying, hey, for one, please do not private message me on the Discord, but, you know, there was a couple on, who were very worried, who were so concerned that they kind of did that, or, messaged me on Patreon, and they were like, hey, I don't want you to be offended, but I feel like the design I did is now so far removed from canon, it might as well be its own thing. If that's the case, that's totally fine, because it meant that maybe you have enough ideas now to make your own thing. We have people here who were like, oh yeah, it's this, except it adheres to none of the rules of your universe and is kind of like my own magic system. I'm like, well, you know, it's all right that happened. That means you got carried away, and that's all fine. And people saying they had some plan that they didn't get a chance to do. Not to worry, there's always the future. And thinking of, I'm just going to get cracking with some from Zershugan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Wow, I forgot about this one. Look at that. So this is an absolute beaut to start off with. They are over on the Discord, and I really, really admire their artwork. It's so beautiful. I really envy their ability to do strong line art. Look at that. And this beautiful little rim lighting. Really nice attention to detail with the shallow scars not inlaying in gold, and then the deepest one does. And look, some little alternate outfits as well. Aren't those cute? That's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. I love this little shawl. Right, we should probably meet Fran. Surname, gosh, I am very bad with these. I want to say Lisiuf, if it's a if it's an F pronunciation on the double D, but I could be incredibly wrong, and I almost certainly am. So please correct me. I want to get their name correct. 23 years old. She, her, the widowed eldest daughter of a midwife. I like that. That's a really fun kind of grounding in the world. She's very Enovasian looking. You can tell that Zershugan really went to town on the style guide. And look at the equipment she has. This is gorgeous. Let's all take a minute just to appreciate. I said in the brief that you could draw or write this, and in this case they've gone for drawing it. Wow, that is just beautiful. I love this little chicken stuff here. That's really nice. We've got this great little kit going on here. This seems to be some kind of sewing or first aid kit, which makes sense given their job. An apothecary type kit. Oh, there's a name for these. I think they're literally called burden baskets or something like that. It's a very old medieval, well, they're basket backpacks, but I'm a big fan of them aesthetically. So gorgeous. So their mark, as it says here, is from their left hand, from wrist to the three fingers, which is there. I really like that. There's something about kind of odd sections, like, oh, just a few of the fingers, like our lightning shooting friend from the first one, from the first video I did, kind of having it was just, I think, his middle and his index finger. So Shugam really cooked with these, says Valuable. Absolutely. Little Chickens, someone I agree. So powers and skills. She inherited herbalism and midwifery from her mother. I like that. You've not just defined Fran by her ability, like her power. She's also skilled, which I like. After being enchanted, the ability to heal awakened. That's a really interesting distinction, that Fran can't heal everyone. She can just heal awakened Ornata. That's a really interesting idea. I really like that. For context as well, as I said before, one of my rules of thumb with designing Ornata powers is, if in doubt, go lower powered and weird and specific, and then get creative in how they could use that ability. So it's really cool that instead of it just being, oh, Fran can heal anyone, it's Fran can only heal certain people. And those certain people, given that they're Ornata, means that she'll probably end up on the front lines quite a bit, which is very interesting. That is fun for storytelling. She left her village, accompanying her younger brother on the orders of her mother, leaving her 2 children under the care of her mothers and sisters. In Ordo Electi, she began to serve in the medical wards, a severe case of big sister complex. Oh, brilliant. That's very good. I really enjoy that. What a great start. Right, sorry, I want to give loads of people time each, and I'm realising if I gush this much, we might be here for a while. So apologies. I think they did 2 entries. Let's look at their second one. Glenn, or Gelin, depending on who you ask. I have 2 friends who speak different kinds of Gaelic or Gaelic, depending on who you ask, and so I am 50-50 on if my pronunciation's one side or the other, so please do correct me if I'm wrong. Interesting. So these 2 are related, I believe. Yeah, we have Fran and Gelin, same surname. The midwife's youngest son is a hunter's apprentice, so his background before the Ordo Electi is hunting. I love these little alternative outfits. These are very cute. I love this. This is very cool. I also love alternate stringing of bows. I think in a lot of fantasy, people tend to go with the kind of traditional, almost Cupid look, but there's a lot out there. Very cool that you've gone with the kind of slitted sunglasses, because there are some groups and clans of people who utilize these. So this is still very law compliant. For those who aren't familiar, once upon a time, before with sunglasses, you would have to do slits and just hope the sunlight doesn't get through. And there we go. So their golden mark, ooh, it's all over their eyes. So it's probably somewhere on their skull. The golden bone, I'm assuming. The gold-un, not gold-and. They're 18, so a few years younger than their sister. Mark eyes. Powers and skills, reading, tracks, archery, making arrows, setting traps. Yes, lots of huntery stuff going on here. He learned all this from hunters in the settlement where he lived. After enchantment, the ability to direct small flying objects, arrows, crossbow bolts, darts, stones to a focused target. Oh, interesting. So it improves their accuracy or their aim. That's a very cool idea. Oh, I see the artist in the chat. No, you don't need to delete your message. If there's a way you envisioned it being pronounced, then you tell me how you think you envisioned it pronounced in your head. Absolutely, you're not correcting me. You're just telling me. Well, you are, but not in a bad way. The gold over the eyes has to be my favourite mark idea. I saw it work so well, says Valuable. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This is a moment to, big everyone up. Cool. He went to the Ordo Electi in search of work as soon as he learned of its existence. Oh yeah, he's right on the cusp. So for those unfamiliar, the Ordo Electi can only accept those 18 and up. So yeah, he got in as soon as he could. Spends most of his salary home. Oh, that's a really sweet addition. When not on assignment, he lives with his sister, which he's not happy about. Effective as an archer. Less effective as a crossbow shooter. Completely ineffective with firearms. I like that distinction, yeah, that lots of people won't have access to firearms, so it would make perfect sense that he's done what he can with what he's got. Amazing. Oh, wow, these are great. I'm not as good at a lot of hard surface stuff as I'd like to be, so, you know, we're all getting inspiration from one another today, because I'm looking at this and going, wow, I love that. Really nice. Oh, and they've got little freckles. I really like that. That's very cute. Very cute indeed. Big fan. Someone in the chat says, is there any reason in world that people come of age at 18? I don't think it's even coming of age. I think depending on where you ask, and I know that age of consent and coming of age is a very iffy subject, especially in like fantasy. I know like in Game of Thrones it's very, very young and stuff like that. I think people are considered adult or adult enough to do certain things before they're 18 in Enavas in general. It's just that because of how dangerous the awakening process is, they feel like 18 by their own poor, compared to ours, poor doctoring standards, that 18 means that you might be a little bit more robust and a bit better able to take it. So it's more of a reducing what's the word I'm looking for? Reducing the fatality rate. And also a couple of the cultures in Golden Bone are like, no, you are not a proper adult until you're 18. And obviously they want to attract as many people as possible. So it's kind of just stuff like that. Yeah, it's not to do with like viewing them as an adult. It's just more, yeah, that they, and also because Ornata might very quickly, without training, if their ability is good enough, find themselves in a more high up leadery position. And so obviously you want someone who's maybe a little bit more worldly and experienced before you start giving them command, right? Well, what a beautiful piece. I do love this. Thank you so much, Sashugan. I'm gonna, sorry, I realize that I'm taking my time on these. Let me speed up a little bit. So we have, oh, this one's from Valleybor, who's in the chat, I believe. Evil Bones in the Discord, but I'm pretty certain that is you, my friend. Iron Hand Albus, 63. I like this. This is a veteran warden, and he's a warden, folks, which means that he currently has no awakened or Ornata abilities, was either born without them or never had them to begin with. And look at this gorgeous design. Now, something we were actually talking about in the chat is how I'm trying to bring in silhouettes and elements that are more East Asian inspired, and you've got this almost like samurai helmet aesthetic going on here, which actually does work within the setting, which is very cool. I love all of this quilting and padding. That's gorgeous. And I've just noticed this enchanted arm that he's got. This is very intricate. Is that like a firing mechanism? I think we're about to find out. Gorgeous line art as always from Valleyball. Go and subscribe to them if you have not already. Big fan of the stump. It feels functional but a little rustic maybe by our standards. This is surprisingly cheery music playing for our good friend Iron Hand here. Wow, and he is carrying an arsenal. We've got black powder weaponry, we've got helmets. Look at that. Gosh. I also have to apologize if there's a delay on the stream. I've been trying to reduce the delay, but it is pretty delayed. So I will try. I think it's mostly my internet, which I am trying to improve upon. 63, veteran grenadier who spent most of his life in the military. Very cool. Says here, an old commander, sorry, I was just looking at chat, an old commander in charge of small unit of inquisitors who run down rogue or violent ornata. Interesting. Not only is he a capable leader, but also an explosives expert, using carefully laid traps and hidden weapons to catch his enemy off guard. Yes, that does explain the arsenal. Lost both his limbs. His prosthetic arm has an inbuilt double-barreled pistol and his leg a bayonet. Oh, I see. Very, if any of you guys have seen Kingsman, Gazelle, obviously that's a lot more modern, but she has like spikes hidden in the heels of her prosthetics. It's giving that. I love it. Aside of this, he primarily uses his shotgun. Very cool. It's giving real kind of Bloodborne vibes. Raggedy appearance due to cutting it with a knife anytime it grows. Oh yeah, you can see it's like he's grabbed a handful and cut it. He's a very rugged man, choosing to forego most luxuries despite the sizable increase in pay. Oh, yeah, a guy this veteran would definitely have an increase over the years, preferring plain bread and cheap alcohol just like his old comrades. I think that shows a lot of, yeah, like the honour and remorse that you're talking about here. I think it shows a lot. This is a guy who gets that things aren't black and white, and he kind of has a lot of respect for people. Big fan of that. Fluff Noodle says, I like when people spend time appreciating the details. I'd rather spend longer on the entries and have to leave and come back. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, really big fan of this. Something I've, because I know or have seen some of Valuable's art before, and no surprise looking at my work, I'm a big fan of when you let the sketchy line art add a lot of texture. This is a guy he's bruised, he's scarred, he's weather beaten, he's got pock marks, maybe from explosions, like, he looks like a guy who's suffered a lot, and has seen a lot. Very cool. And also playing around with the setting a little bit, a guy this old, he definitely has been treated to at least one good enchantment, for sure. Okay, the next one. Adet Irvine, 27, cool. A tailor's daughter, there is a asterisk, oh, it's down to there. She, her. The mark is on the back side of the skull. I'll look at the art in just a sec. I'm just going to read this. Powers and skills. Detecting auras and emotions. She can use her hair like sensors. It glows when she is using her powers. Okay. Notes. Even though the back side of her skull was covered in gold, it's discovered that late that she is an ornata. With 16, her hair slowly began to turn gold. Interesting. So for context, in Golden Bone, typically someone's hair will bleach if it has a gold under it, but in this case it's gone golden. I'm a big fan of the puffy sleeves, as you all know, and I've got this big medieval headdress going on here, which I'm a big fan of. This is very cool. It's also nice to see people who are mid-aged. I think a lot of people... there's lots to be said for different age groups. Very young, fresh-faced, very old, experienced, wizened guys. And now we've got someone who's kind of in between. They're not like 18, 20. They're not like 63. They're somewhere in between. I like these sleeve patterns. This is very interesting, how they've done these, like, patterns. I like the boots. Big fan of that. Oh, and they've done this really nice close-up without the hair, so we can see where the mark is on the back of the skull. I believe this one is from Lorene. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. That's what it says on the Discord. Let me have a look-see here. Sorry, I'm juggling about 3 different things. I'm checking the names, checking the chat. I really like the detailing on this dagger here. You can tell that this is spenny, this is expensive. She's got this really beautiful outfit, but then it does say she's a tailor's daughter, so, some tailors aren't going to be super well off, but some of them are going to make some very fancy outfits. She, you know, you can tell she's dressing like someone who knows what looks good. It's fun. And also I do like the idea of playing around with how abilities are active. So it's not just she can do this thing, you've got like she uses her hair like a sensor, or like it glows when she uses it, which I think is a really fun way of adding flavour. It's not just what you do, but how you do it. Yeah, that knife is just gorgeous, really nice. And I think this might be the artist's mark in the corner as well, which is also very pretty. Look at that. Very cool. Once again, yeah, big props for doing one of these big medieval headdresses. Some of them in Europe were pretty insane. And obviously, because we're a fantasy setting, we can go a little more ham. Very cool. I also, oh yeah, I've just noticed they've added like these nice gradients in the corners here. I thought it looked a little more textured. That's a really nice touch. Wow, what great artwork. Really good job. Massive props to you, Loreen. Okay, next is some from Haddie, I believe is their name, is the next one, or should be. Yes, it is. There we go. Let's have a look at Haddie's. Love how they've done the eyes here. That's a really interesting look. That's really cool. Oh, we've got like a nice in situ like action shot of them there. Oh, I love this little bird alighting on her hand. That's a really neat touch. What a nice idea. So I'll just put adding spenny to my lingo. Thank you. That might be a bit more of a British thing. I'm not sure. So we've got Basira. Oh, and you've got it in Arabic here, I believe. Or I'm terrible if it's not. There's a few alphabets I can read, and this is not one of them, unfortunately. But we have, she's 19, so on the young end, probably just able to join. She, her. Equipment, none at the minute. She travels light. Daughter of a salesman from the... Okay, we don't really have a quote-unquote Orient. I don't know if that's really a PC word to be using anymore in general, but we do have, Eastern-inspired countries in this setting. So there is 100% people who, for example, wear head coverings and wear headdresses and stuff like that. So Basira here, looking very cute, could 100% exist in this setting. The only reason I want to clarify that is because some people were, and never do this, it's rude and mean, correcting some people for imagining folks from different cultures in this setting. It is a huge world and lots of different kinds of people exist in it, and head coverings are very common. She looks very cute. Big fan. I do like this X shape under her eyes. It's almost butterfly shaped. And I love how you've done this kind of almost iridescent, like reflectivity in the iris there. I think that's really nice. Yeah, and stripe from right ear to cheek. Oh yeah, you can see the edge of it here, so that would lead up to her right ear there. That's really nice. Really like that. And as always, love me a little bit of rim lighting. You've got the purple and then the light blue here. It really does add such a dimension to the artwork. Really like that. Oh, she's blind. I see. She lost her ability to see normally, but instead sees the souls of every living creature with her eyes and hears them. Wow, that's very powerful. She is of great help for her father, since she can tell if someone is lying. Wow, that's a lot of... she's very powerful. Sometimes she mistakes dead souls for living souls because she can't... Yeah, well, if there's the only way you can see people, I can imagine that would be a bit difficult. Reblaze asks about the ones created in Hero Forge. So as I did specify before the competition and as a prerequisite and after and at the beginning of this, it's all of the valid entries. And one of the stipulations is that you had to try and make your own from scratch. Your own original art piece. So unfortunately, ones made with If you 3D modeled it yourself, 100%, but one's using other stuff, not in this case. Just because that was the deal I made, that was the thing I promised, and that was the thing I disclaimed beforehand. Someone says, kind of reminds me of the mark on some species of raven. Yeah, it does, which with her like very dark robes does really stand out. Like it does give very bird-like demeanor, which I find very cute, and the fact she's kind of pinned this little flower I find very adorable. Very cute, and also really cool to see members of the Ordo Electi who might be from further flung cultures. I really like that. That's really cute. Good job to Haddie. I think next is feel free to call me out in the chat if you have a preferred name, but I'm going off of the Discord usernames. Someone called Big Man is next up, so let's have a look. Thinking of Big Man, big smile. Look at that. That is a grill and a half. Look at this ornata. August Shinsata. Ah, yes, someone else who's kind of hinting at a different culture here. I like that. That's fun. Look at the grill on this guy. If there's another event, says someone, I'm going to have to learn how to draw a workout cosplay style thing. To which that Rob Human says, why wait for another event? Absolutely, go for it whenever. Create things that you enjoy. I love the loss of pigment around the beard. I don't know if that was just because this person envisioned him having a grey beard, or if that's meant to be like a loss of pigment. But I do love this around the jaw. That's a really neat idea. Look at that. And I like he's got his little action pose here. He's got his book. Oh, I'm assuming that's his book of poetry. He has a tanto, a nice little belt pouch, which you can see here. Oh, and a gourd, like a water skin. That's really nice. You can tell they thought this is a very traveller type. 32, so once again, someone's some kind of in the middle. Member of the Ordo Electi, also a poet. Oh, nice. I feel bad for him. He's going to be in a horrible, horrible situation, this poor poet. So his mark, obviously, on his upper jaw runs down to below the Adam's apple, yeah, so probably like parts of his spine and jaw, and obviously his teeth. Well, when I say spine, I mean the bit that leads up to the neck. And his jaw. A golden, very cool. And once again, remember that the splotch is usually smaller than what's underneath, so it could go all the way down to like his collarbone or up. August able to bring out emotions through speech. Depending on the complexity of his speech, the emotion felt will be stronger. Combines, oh, that's nice. So he combines his existing love of poetry with his ability. So this is what we mean about like channeling it, being able to bring out deep and last. Oh, so he can like influence people so they feel a certain way. That's a really fun idea. Yeah, it could be feeling blissful, or you could get like your allies pumped up. So you could like, like get someone like really enraged and ready to fight or something like that, or send them to sleep. That's a really neat idea. Born from an immigrant father and a woman native to Enavas. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Particularly the coast of Enavas is a real melting pot of people, so that is 100% possible. Grew up learning the culture of his father's home. Practiced poetry early on in his childhood. Continue throughout his life. Joined the Ordo Electi after both parents died, seeking for more experiences. Oof, I feel bad for you, August. You're definitely going to have a lot of experiences in the army. I do apologise. Someone says he's a politician, run. Good for him. Ah, that's really nice. Good job to Big Man, wherever you may be. Okay, I think next is Jack, is what they're calling themselves on the Discord. So I hope I've got them in the right order. I do! This one's a little lower quality. Sorry, I did download the highest quality one, my bad. You'll have to go over to the Discord, everyone, and go and check out his amazing work. I love these. this, I really like the kind of cross-section. So there's what her mark is, Madeline Bain. There's her mark. You can see it peeking out here, but then that is what her entire skeleton, that's all the extent of the gold. That's really cool. Like this, we've got this very medieval style tabard going on here. Nice patterning along the sleeves, very cute. 19, daughter of Alaric Bain. I see. Unfortunately, I don't know who Alaric Bain is, but I'm sure, given the outfit, that they are a very well-off individual. I'm sure I'll find out more in the notes. Let's look at the equipment. So you've got these very fancy daggers. A lot of very expensive enchanted equipment. Yeah, so Madeline seems to be a lady who has a lot of money. Let's not have bard stuff with lyrics. I'm skipping along a little bit just because two sets of voices talking might be a little bit difficult. Someone says talk about having a backbone. It's true. Yeah, this is someone who's very well off, used to the finer things in life. Yeah, for sure. There we go. Visible of neck, stretches down spine. Enhanced nerves, enhanced speed, agility, reflexes. Feels little to no pain. Yeah, so just everything, which kind of works because obviously that's where your central nervous system, the kind of main part of it is, right, is in your spine. So that's really cool. So Madeline isn't like, this is once again like an odd one where maybe you wouldn't notice it initially as she starts to like awaken after the process, but she's just a little bit more, everything's a bit more dialed up for her. That's a really interesting way of doing it. Yeah, so she's just a little faster, she's just a little more keen, she's a little more on it in all respects. I think that's really fun. I like that because it would definitely give her an edge. She can do them high kicks, she can do them stabs, and she's going to be doing it a little bit quicker than you, which is all you need to lose the fight. So that's very cool. Spends most of her time alone with servants. There we go. Madeline is well off, confirmed. Father rejected her for being an ornata. Oh no. Fascinated with alchemy. Enchanted herself. Wow. So she wouldn't have joined the Ordo Electi to get enchanted. Interesting. And she's okay. In the night she collects bones of deceased ornata. Interesting. Someone could be, could be described as spenny mayhaps, says Sunny Side Up. Absolutely. Madeline is spenny. She knows what she wants. Good for her. I do like this lantern. This is very cute. That's very cute. I like that. Nice. Really cool entry. Thank you so much, Jack. Is the next one from Jack as well? No, the next one is from Clementine. Ooh. So we've got Pyrite is their name, or maybe a nickname. We'll find out. They, them. 24 years old. Ornata Bounty Hunter. Interesting. So this is, I'm not sure when they would have joined the Ordo Electi, but now they're all about getting them Ornata. Let's find out more. I really like their outfit. This is very indicative of someone who's maybe from this looks like a leopard or cheetah skin, so maybe someone of a different culture. Maybe they're someone that's coming on one of the ships or on the coast. Very cool. I love this gun, just admiring all the details here. I want to kind of take you through it, make sure we're all admiring everyone. I love the hype in the chat, keep the hype going. We've got like a water gourd maybe of some description, or maybe like a storage jar. Could even be a bomb, who knows. But very cool. This is giving a lot of like seafarer vibes to me. Like you've got the braids with beads from like different places. Interesting different fabrics and furs. This is giving very ships, boy stuff. It says that they're a warden, so I'm very interested to see what the mark is on their arm. Let's find out. So they're a new recruit. but they've got great combat skills from their homeland. Oh, wow. So the 4 Ornata that Pyrite here has killed have been added to their hair. Oh my. Oh my. This poor Ornata. Wow. Oh, also, yeah, just a well spotted Juliaria in the chat. Yeah, the wood grain on this is really nice. I like it. It's giving real, this has been used a lot vibes, like very beaten metal, and yeah, really like that. While their skills are more fitted to a bow and arrow, they have quickly become acclimatized with a flintlock, which they received from a close ally. They prefer to resolve things with diplomacy, and often let their prey go free. Interesting. The Ornata deserved it, I'm sure, says someone in the chat. Maybe they did. Growing up in a community that shunned Ornata, often leaving them to fend for themselves within the wilderness, Pirate managed to survive and learnt to repress their innate abilities, resulting with them being invited back to the community. Oh, so this person is an Ornata, but not an awakened one. Ooh, Pyrite, my buddy, you're dealing with some internalized... There's a lot of projection going on there, buddy, you poor thing. Oh, poor Pyrite. Pyrite's got a lot going on. Really cool. Oh, I feel bad for them. They kind of hate themselves quite a bit. Bless. Ah, poor Pyrite. Well, at least they're doing what they love? Question mark. They're certainly good at it. Good for Pyrite. And it is true that the Ordo Electi would, if they have someone go rogue, they probably need to hire people who are especially good at putting them down. So yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Thank you for that entry. Right, the next one is from, it's from Vaf, who I think I saw in the chat earlier, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. It says my second thingy, but I never saw the first one. Oh well. 1 second, sorry, it's because I'm going through the chat at the same time. It's got this one. Very cool. This has got like a real jester looking thing. I'm thinking very Final Fantasy Jesters of the Moon type deal going on there. Big fan of that. Vespera Ondole. Oh, they, them. Sorry, I think I called them he. They, them. 32. And they used to be an artisan. Interesting. So the mark is on their forehead with mostly discoloured hair. Ah, so they kind of, as this eccentric artisan, they've covered up their marking. I love this little hand clasp pose. This is very cute. This is very... It could be very threatening, but they could also be very earnest. They could be like, oh, how can I help you? Or that could be the hand rub of someone who... who means you harm. I like it. Powers and skills. Learned skills, artisanal skills, and medical knowledge. Naruto ability can give life to clay dolls by splitting up his mind. Negatively impacts. Oh, interesting. So the reason he's maybe not... are not doing so hot. Sorry, it's because it said his there. That threw me. I think the reason they're maybe not doing so hot is because of their Ornata ability. So yes, that would be... Funny enough, there was someone I had... Ornata can have the same ability. There are Ornatas with the same kind. I had someone in my mind who was similar to this. So it is definitely a feasible power to kind of animate other things. But you can see it really takes a toll on them. Oh, look, and then their equipment. You've got this little staff here and then some of their clay dolls. That's really neat. Their Ornata ability has caused the formation of a split personality disorder. Eccentric, even in their... Yeah, nothing wrong with being eccentric. Good for Vespera for being eccentric. And they basically live in the workshop creating dolls, avoiding the truth of what they're used for. There we go. There's the... For those of you unfamiliar, there is... that Mitchell and Webb skit where he just goes, are we the baddies? We've got little skulls on our hats. That is Enavas and the Ordo Electi. We might like some of the people. But yeah, for sure, there's a lot of people there who are like, yeah, let's not think about what we're doing and how we are, quote unquote, civilizing or liberating places that maybe didn't ask us to. That's very neat. I'm just checking out the chat. People being so positive, love to see it. They them was mostly because the split personality, so I'm sorry for being inconsistent. Hey, do not apologise at all, Martin. I'm assuming this is also you. No problem at all. I just wanted to make sure I was getting it correct. But as long as they don't mind what pronouns they use, then that's all fine. Yeah, I love that seed. Someone says, I think split personality disorder is an outdated term, right? I think the term, yeah, I think it's DSD now, but I understand what this person means. They mean that it's taken a toll on them, and maybe they've developed some mental health issues around that, which, given the kind of grit of the setting, is, you know, unfortunately is the way of things. So that's awesome. Very cool. I do like this mask a lot. Big fan of that. Thank you so much for your entry. Right, the next drawn one is Toad, is what their username on screen is, but obviously feel free to call that in the chat. Pontus, age 21. Love how you've done the metal here. I forgot if it was you or someone with a similar username who said that they were struggling with making metal very glowy and stuff like that, but I think you've done a really nice job regardless. Got a little bit of discoloration going on here. They're a warden. Oh, so this is just a little bit of I've definitely met people with like little streaks of discoloration, Wardenberg and stuff like that. Bishatan, I don't know what that is, so you will have to tell me in the chat what you had in mind for that, because I'd love to hear it. Interesting. So I'm just having a read. Odyssey equipment, his spear. Oh, so this is Odyssey. He considers it his best work so far. Love it. Unnamed knife, a relatively new knife he hopes he won't need to replace. Interesting. Yes, he's kind of intermediate. He's maybe starting to get with it a little bit. He's losing some equipment. Dream bells. Oh, this is... Oh, carafe. Oh, I see. Sorry, it's just... this is a Beshat. Beshat, I see. It's just a typo. Got you. He's a Beshat. And that's his carafe, his bells. Nice. Someone's made a Beshat. I think this is the first Beshat. Yeah, someone just said in the chat of the Beshat culture, I think. Someone says, bro's already going grey. Unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, like, I know people who have, at age 16, started to, like, lose their hair or go grey, and it does happen, and... Oh, sorry, hit the table there. And, you know, he's probably been in a lot of stressful situations. I don't blame him. Yeah, yeah, it's an ironmonger. My apologies. It's just because of the typo there. So, and to be fair, I don't write it as much as I should. I definitely need to make, like, I don't have enough time, but I really need to make like a wiki at some point so people can see the spellings a bit more. But I get you. So this is a Beshat, and this is his carafe. An experienced Beshat forger, particularly experienced in blades. Weapons master, uses lots of so any orthodox weapons. So he's kind of trained in like the traditional stuff. Borderline completely useless while unarmed. I like it. I like that you've balanced him out. He's competent, but he's got his weak points. Often plays the role of vanguard, relying on his speed to avoid incoming attacks. Refuses to use firearms, sees them as a cheap shortcut. Nice. We kind of getting to know this guy a little bit. He's got his thoughts. He's got his ideas. He's got his code of ethics. I like to see that. Although from a Beshat village, he prefers to wear tight-fitting clothes and light armour for battle, as to not hinder his movement. But outside of combat, he likes to wear more traditional garb. Cool, you can kind of see he's got the tight-fitting here, and then he's got more loose-fitting here. Got some stats for him. Yes, for a Beshat, even though he's a big guy, for a Beshat, he would be considered very small. He's constantly cycling through knives, not due to poor craftsmanship, but due to the nature of fighting powerful ornata. Currently he's on his 10th Oh, yes, well, I can imagine if you throw a knife, there isn't maybe always a chance of you getting it back. This is a fun little character, and I like that it's, you know, it's kind of tied into the world by doing a Bashat. Someone says, I wonder what his helmet is. Oh, so the carafe is often a helmet, but isn't always a helmet. So in this case, it seems that from what they've said, his carafe are these very cool bells. Sorry, just replying to someone in the chat there. I think these bells are his carafe, it says here, which is nice. Usually it's a helmet, but lots of people, you know, for every person that does a helmet, or two or three people that do a helmet, someone else will do something. This is a really fun guy. Someone said in the chat, there's an important Bashat character involved with the story of my characters, but I specifically chose not to draw her because I didn't have the time to design or draw armour. Hey, don't worry about that. That's all good. I would love to see it sometime, though. Yeah, as someone said in the chat, he is buff as anything, but for a Bashat, he's actually quite short. Well, he's not short, but he's definitely not average height. Yeah. Cool. I like this guy. He's fun. Really good job. Thank you so much, Toad, wherever you may be. I hope you see this. Right, next we have the Crispy Acorn with Ewan Morrison. Nice, 28. Cool, so we've got someone who's a little experienced again, but not like maybe 60. This is really cool. This outfit is a lot more Central Enavas inspired, so that would be where it gets a little bit more medieval. That's really cool. Swordsman and Scout. Got a lot of fun equipment here. A sword, a cloak, gloves, sewing needle. Oh, look, you can see that his sword, even before we read it, is enchanted. That's neat. Look at that. Got this little pop of colour, but correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks like enchanted gold. That's a really fun detail. I really like that. And here is, oh, so instead of the more traditional big gold, they've just got these little bits on their fingertips. Cool. All distal phalanges on the right hand. I love phalange. That's such a good word. Nice. You've got this little needle, some gloves. The gloves will be good, yeah, to cover up his markings. His little cape. Let's have a look. Ornata ability. Ewan can shoot an electric current through his fingertips. Yay, we've got another electric finger guns. Love it. This current can produce sparks against metal, but is generally not visible. Strong emotions can increase the strength of his power. Yeah, a lot of Ornata find, funnily enough, that you know, you can build up stamina if you're like pushing yourself. It can go a bit better. But this is dangerous to him and others, so he maintains a calm demeanour. Very cool. Yes, a little jolts through people. So you don't want to be wearing armour around someone that can basically taser you. That's very cool. Learns sword fighting and sewing. I like it. We like a guy who can sew. Good for him. Great with directions. Calm under pressure. Yeah, it sounds like he's got to kind of practice his breathing, practice his calmness. Ewan is from a small fishing village, born to a seamstress and a town's guardsman. Like many Ornata, Ewan decided to stay as a soldier for the Ordo Electi. Ah, see, he stayed on. Very cool. He is often used as a scout or an interrogator. Oof, yeah, I wouldn't want to be interrogated by a guy that can just keep zapping me. That's, oof, Ewan, what are you doing, Ewan? It's so effective. Ewan's sword is custom made. Parts of the handle contain metal, allowing a connection between Ewan's fingers and the blade, enabling him to channel an electric current through it. Very clever. You've thought about his limitations, and then you've thought about how he can kind of work with them. I like that. Small bits of fool's gold. Oh, they're fake runes. Tricking enemies into believing he's not an Ornata, but a rogue. Oh! See, it had me fooled, gang! Ewan fooled me! I've been bamboozled! Gang! Yeah, okay, that's a really neat idea. It's definitely not unheard of for people to fake having magical stuff. But usually it's to scare people off, but in this case he's kind of using it to cover his tracks. How interesting. I really like that. That's such a fun idea. Guys, I got bamboozled. The chat is popping off. I got heckin' bamboozled. Someone said policeman has a taser and is dressed. That's really fun. And I like that you specified, literally someone put that in the chat. I like that you specified what tasks he does. Because yeah, I would not want someone who can just like taser me, especially in like this medieval setting, to be the one interrogating me. That would be scary. That's real cool. What a neat idea. The chat loves it as well. Love to see it. Really nice job. Someone said, bro got heckin' bamboozled in 4K. I sure did. I sure did. And you know what? It is what it is. Right, I think the Crispy Acorn did 2 entries, so we're just going to hop along to their next one. We're going to need to shimmy shamble our way a little bit. Got Elizabeth Varin, 20, so a little bit younger. A singer and a performer. I love their little outfit, this big raggedy cape and little hand bindings, these little boots. She, her, a pendant, gift from late younger sister who died. Oh no! Got this beautiful, oh yeah, you can see it there, this little beautiful choker. Top half of right tibia, shin. Oh, that's, we can see it kind of I think that's it poking through a rip in the trousers there. Very cool. Like it. She's got the big coat to hide it as well. One heart to power, break a leg. Enchanted with luck and healing, which produces a luck effect when the... Oh, interesting. So she can break her leg and then it heals and then she's lucky for a bit. That's... How interesting. Okay. That's... Wow. I mean, congrats to Elizabeth if she can stand it. That's she's more metal than me, for sure. And she's also good at singing, acting, and yeah, I would think she has a high pain tolerance, bless her. Elizabeth, you poor thing. Oh no. She was once a well-known songstress before her cat discovered she was an ornata and claimed she used her powers to manipulate people. That is a thing that some ornata worry about. They, you know, certain abilities might impact their ability to have relationships with other people. I'm just going to skip along to one that doesn't have lyrics. There we go. Elizabeth is not part of the Ordo Electi. Oh, so this isn't actually an Ordo Electi member. Oh, okay. That's... in which case, I think this is more the focus then, isn't it? Ewan, he's more of an entry for the competition. Very cool. Someone just said it's Katara. Literally a bard, says someone. Whole new meaning to break a leg, lol. Yeah, in which case, if she's... So this one is more about... In this case, this event is more about members of the Ordo Electi. So it would be more about Ewan in this case. Oh, someone says, wait, keep reading. Don't worry, I am going to keep reading. I wasn't going to skip it. They break her leg over... Oh gosh, it's a bit violent. Okay, I say that like my setting isn't violent. Eventually, they are rescued, but refuses to work for the Ordo Electi. I see. And doesn't want to use their powers anymore. Well, they won't force her to work for them. They don't press gang people. It's... oh, I forgot to rewrite, says the Crispy Acorn in the chat. Don't you worry about it. You stick it in the chat, and everyone check out the chat and let the Crispy Acorn... put their rewrite in there. No worries. Yeah, really fun ability. Horrible, but very fun. And that's the sweet spot for Golden Bone, right? Absolutely horrible, but in like the most entertaining way possible. Break a leg. I like that. Very cool. Yeah, press gang system. Yeah, the Ordo Electi don't press gang very much. They pride themselves on the idea of people come to them from all over. So they wouldn't force her, which is nice. Cool. Right, the next one is from... Just getting my list up. Someone called Shade over in the Discord. They added, I didn't write this in the skills section for the aesthetic, but to list them, his other skills are being snooty, actually, and knitting, which is great. Good stuff. Oh, this person doesn't have gold markings. A spiral of quartz. Huh. I'm sure that'll be related to his powers. Joffrey Galdian the Marble Mage, 32. So he's a noble. He's from a noble family. You can tell he's got this. He's absolutely dripped out. Look at that outfit. Love all this little detail, like the frills, this patterning on the. Look at that. The patterning on the coat, the patterning on the vest. Look at this guy. He knows what looks good on him. Good for him. I absolutely love it. Also, the hair is really nice. That's very of the era. You know, that kind of age of exploration thing going on there. That's very cool. Someone just put, no, we need more British Empire, says someone. Brilliant. So we've got equipment. We've got this almost like a rosary bead or neck. Oh, it's this pendant here. It's from his sister. He writes his notes in a hidden magical ink he made. Ooh, magical lemon juice. We like it. Oh, and there's his knitting materials. Aw, bless him. Good for him. Oh, I see what they mean about the aesthetic, writing their abilities outside of it. He's going through some stuff. Oh no. The ancient drip, says someone in the chat. Yes, absolutely. Right, notes. He does have gold that covers his skin. It looks like... Oh, so this is meant to be gold. Got you. It just looks strange for some reason. His magic is uncontrollable. It's also really powerful. Oh, interesting. So maybe he bragged about his knowledge of alchemy, science, and magic. Casting his own spells. Oh, so yeah, so there aren't exactly spells in this setting, but I could definitely imagine him being like more of an academic type. He's definitely giving more of like a magical researcher, which is good. You know, the Order Electi needs people who are, you know, smart, maybe a little devious, maybe a little snooty, maybe a little bratty, but you know, who know their stuff. So that's very cool. I like that. That's silly. Someone says reminds him a lot of Saint Germain. Yeah, he's definitely got this very Saint Germain from Castlevania series, but yeah, he's definitely got a very Germanic, you know, Eastern European meets Western European aesthetic going on here, which I really like. And you know, we got this kind of academic type in the Ornata, investigating magic. Maybe can't control his own very well, but that's really cool. I like that. White gold is often silvery in colour. Yeah, so someone did ask before about stuff like white gold and rose gold. So interesting fact, those aren't actually gold. Those are, as someone is rightly pointing out in the chat, alloys. So I think rose gold, for example, is gold mixed with, I want to say copper or brass, but correct me if I'm wrong. But that's me going on a tangent. Yeah, more than anything, I really like just the overall aesthetic of this guy is really cool, and the kind of shimmering quality on this, that's a really nice idea. Interesting. Yeah, someone said in the chat, I'm not, you'll have to clarify because I'm really interested what specifically his power is, but it seems that it's related to how his mark changed colour, which could be very interesting. I'd be interested to know more. Thinking of knowing more, we should head on over to the next entry, which is from Frog. Very cool. We've got lots of little details here. We're going to have to do a zoom, gang. Are you ready? We've got Captain Nathaniel Spark Hawk. Spark is his nickname. 24. Pirate turned spy / privateer. He now captains the Charles, a 10-cannon sloop. He, him. Let's take a gander. Got a little bit of matte painting going on here, I want to say, which is very cool. Let's look at these details. Let's start at the top. Oh, I'm very excited to see. We've got. I almost clicked directly into the mic there and deafened you all, but I like this kind of pose here. Very nice. Rapid pressure change. I think he can implode things, which sounds phenomenal. I can't wait to read that. Got this really, oh, there's the hand. Got this very cool dynamic pose. Ooh, look at these. I like all of his equipment. We've got his necklace. Look at this gun. That's cool. Big fan of these. That looks very nice. I was wondering initially why these weren't in the equipment, but I think the equipment has some juicy lore nuggets in it. So let us... Hi Frog, I can see you in the chat. So let's have a look at some of the details about this equipment. Fury. Oh, that's the name of this custom flintlock pistol that is triggerless. I thought it looked a bit odd. Triggerless, hammerless, and breech loading. Does he... Are we about to find out that he can fire his own gun using his ability? Because that would be really cool. I think that might be what this is. That is... Has he made a gun that only he can use? That's a fun idea. I like that. I like that a lot. Soleil. A Bashat-made blade. That he later enchanted. Oh, the Bashat that made that blade will not be happy to know that he had it enchanted. That's how you get beaten up by a 6'5" lady. To heat to extreme temperatures without harming it. Its previous owner, did not respect the Bashat craft and had gold inlaid in. Love the lore-friendly. This has got some good lore details in it. Very nice, yeah. Interesting. Well, yeah, if he's a captain, he probably gets his hands on all sorts of crazy stuff. His compass and gunpowder, all gifts from his previous captain. Wears the frayed jacket of his former captain to honour him after he was killed in a brutal storm. And he has a bone hook necklace he used to fish with as a poor boy. Oh, that had so much depth to him. I really like that. Love this kind of extra lore we're getting from him. Someone just said in the chat, I hope more people use the negative effects of awakening in their works. Yeah, for sure. I think it's cool to see all sides of the coin. Thinking of this is very interesting. I want to know more about this. Golden thumb, pointer, and middle finger on his right hand. That's where he does his little snap. Spark's ability is to create a tiny implosion from up to 100 yards. A power he uses with both precision and creativity. Ooh, so he can literally create a little spark. He must have a line of sight or a good understanding of his target to use his ability. Nice, there's a little bit of balancing in there. When used underwater, bubbles swell. Oh yeah, because if you're making a little implosion, you could make a little hole in something. He combines his magical prowess with keen tactical skill. Interesting, the guerrilla tactics. So you've got a guy here who technically knows his way around a boat, knows where a hole would be absolutely devastating, and can basically go underwater and perfectly create a little hole. That is terrifying. I love that. That's really fun. Someone says he's a human mantis shrimp. A little bit. He's very interesting. And also has guns and things that only he can use. That is very interesting. What a cool idea. Really nice, Frog. His nickname Spark originated from his old crew for his quick thinking, even before his magical abilities awakened. So he must have been awakened later. Maybe we're about to find out. His old captain, Thorn de la Mare, was of Paragon background. Ooh! So before I even did the video on Myriadism, I did drop little nuggets about Paragons and the Last Exodus, and Frog has incorporated that. So his captain really liked to stand out and really liked his shiny stuff. Got you. Gifted Spark his most prized possession, a Bashat-made knife acquired in a raid to honour the young Wanata. Spark joined as a privateer, age of 19, and re-enlisted. He often sneaks aboard enemy ships and camps to scout for their gunpowder storage. Oh, Spark. Hell yeah. He is known to light enemy grenades, firearms, and even their own ships. This is what's really scary. This guy, you only need a little spark to go off in the wrong place when you're working with gunpowder. So this guy is genuinely quite scary. You don't want to bring a gun to a knife fight with him because he will explode the gun. Great. That is very fun. This is the thing. It's just a little, all of that from the example idea, says someone. Yeah, so one of the ideas I suggested was, what if you could light a spark from 50 meters? I don't use yards because I'm a heathen British person. And this frog has just absolutely run with it and has gone real ham on it, and I love that. I love people taking one little idea and just running with it. That's a really fun idea. Very tactical, but could be very deadly. And the scary thing about Ornata compared to, say, someone with an enchanted weapon is you just can't... Well, you could literally disarm them, as in take their arm off, but you can't... someone might look unarmed. You know, you can't stop this guy from doing it. So I wonder, I'll be very interested to know, Frog, when he joined the Ordo Electi to get awakened, if maybe he's like trying to escape like a prison sentence, if he used to be a pirate, maybe. That could be one way of doing it. Aren't miles used in Britain? Yeah, miles, but also meters. Miles are like very, very long distances. You wouldn't use a mile to measure like a room, for example. Very cool. Automatic crit, says someone. Absolutely. Really well done, Frog. And I like this. He's got this very swarthy pirate look going on. Young, but, you know, just kind of becoming a captain himself. Very, very interesting. Cool. Really nice work, Frog. I hope you're very proud of that, because I think that's very, very creative. Nice work. Right, the next one is, I think Vaf is... Oh yeah, so Vaf, and massive credit to Vaf for deciding to pull a delete your art. The next one was originally Vaf's first one, but then they decided to go back and remake it, which I think is a real baller move. Good for them. Can I say baller on stream? I don't think I'll get demonetized at this point. I've sworn already. I don't know why I'm worried about the word baller. Just gonna have a quick sip of my drink before we get on to our good friend Mustafa here. Alrighty. Sorry, I tried to drink away from the mic. We have Mustafa Skander. Used to be a herder. I love his outfit. Let's look at this. This is, for context, Vath is the same person who did the artisan, the one with the sun moon mask earlier. And I really love this patterning. This is really intricate. Really nice. Ooh, I can see the gold. It's on their knuckles. Ooh, very nice. Got little balls of yarn. Herder 57, love it. This poor guy. Left hand showing on 3 of his knuckles. There it is. Powers and skills. Embroidery, herding, carpentry. Nice. He's 57. He's picked up his own skills along the way. As an ornata, Mustafa can control wool strings, which he weaves into rope and cloth. Interesting. Times were hard at home, and he became a burden, so he left to see if he could earn money in town. Oh, bless him. So this guy, doing his absolute best, from what I'm understanding, joined the Ordo Electi to kind of be a bit more of a breadwinner. It also really sucks because the Ordo Electi don't really pay you a whole lot. You kind of have to rely on money you get from other avenues on the back of being, it's like, oh, you're in the Ordo Electi, I'm more likely to commission you. The Ordo Electi kind of view the bed and board as payment enough. So this poor guy going into the city, trying to establish himself, trying to get through his 3 years of service so he can kind of use that reputation. And Mustafa's a good guy. He's doing good by his family. Good, you know, good for you, Mustafa. He looks absolutely terrified, as I would be if I had to suddenly join violent military service for 3 years. But, you know, it's a harsh world in Golden Bone, and this guy is doing his best for his family. Good for him. Good stuff. Right. Next one is by Falsag. Ooh, we've got a very gothic, very Dark Souls boss looking person here. I don't know how they see. Maybe they don't need to see, maybe they're blind. Oh, yes, that might answer my question. Cassandra, 24, farmer, or used to be a farmer. She, her. Love this very ornate knife going on here. That's beautiful. That's really nice. I love how you've done the hand, like the hand guard here. That's really good. Big fan of that. Mark, facial mark. Oh, it's the one on their face, yeah. Autumn Vida gold sight. Wow, this is very... they've got lots of powers. Grants the Ornata ability to see enchanted gold. Awakened Ornata visible. Oh, so she's blind, except that she can see enchanted gold, including Awakened Ornata. Interesting. That explains why she's not got any holes here. She doesn't need them. Never to be given enchanted equipment as it can be... Oh, yeah, if she was given enchanted equipment, that might be too much. Interesting. So she can see enchanted gold. That's really fun. Someone said the blade resembles a scythe. It does a bit, doesn't it? It almost looks like the head of a scythe. I like that. It's got this carved scimitar vibe to it. Cassandra's from an unnamed farming settlement close to the border. Incident involved multiple male... oh no, so she was assaulted, and so unfortunately it scarred her skin. And it scarred in gold. Oh, poor thing. Quiet, shy, speaks in soft tones partly due to injury. Adept at close fighting with blade. Yes, I can imagine she'd be much better at close combat fighting, because then she doesn't need to worry. What you don't want is poor Cassandra seeing an Ornata or an enchanted blade through a wall and then walking into a wall, bless her. What they would probably also get her to do is find spies. I think someone in the Ordo Electi who can see enchanted gold, what they'd want is for her to be like... probably in court, actually, because what you wouldn't want is King of Enavas, meet this completely unassuming, chill diplomat, and Cassandra can point and be like, he's an Ornata, or he's got like a magical belt buckle or something, you know, a ring or something, I don't know. So that's very cool. Someone said lady has daredevil vision, but only for gold, yeah. Powers that hurt are my all-time favourite narrative device. Yeah, it's a really fun one. Cool. So let me finish reading the rest. Used scythe blade to fight. So she used a scythe. So it is a scythe blade. Yeah, absolutely. And then reforged it into a personal blade. Hey, that's amazing that we immediately picked up that that was a scythe blade. That means that you have done a fantastic job. That translated immediately, which is how you know you're doing a good design. It's always something that's really gratifying to me is when someone says, oh, this looks like X, and I'm like, yes, that's what I was aiming for. I did a redesign or a design for The Ghost of Christmas Past this time last, or coming up to a year ago. And one of the things I wanted her to look like is like her eyes kind of to look like shark eyes, or you know when cats or dogs it's dark out and they have light shine in them and it's a bit reflective. And when someone pointed that out, I did a little happy dance, you know. So that's really cool that that translated there. Nice. Arrived in the capital. Commissioned Mask Upon Awakening from Ordo Electi Smiths. Yeah, absolutely. It's if she wants to keep her face covered and that's how she's most comfortable, absolutely. That's very fun. I like that a lot. She's got this very... Yeah, imagine turning up at court and it's like, oh yes, we have a representative from the Ordo Electi to make sure there's no funny business. And it's this scary masked lady standing there. Don't try and take her stuff. Ooh, so she can get quite violent. Ooh. Very cool. Right, very nice, thank you. The next one is from Random Gamer. Dolos Deloro, sorry. Dolos Deloro. 22. Used to be a swindler. Okay, I like it. He, him. I like this. So this person's actually done traditional art and then they've scanned it in. Absolutely a valid, you know, it's all you. We got this really cool section here where we could see the gold on their wrist and kind of going up their arm. That's really nice. Big fan of that. Got this really cool pouch, contains a day of rations, coin purse. I like how each bullet point is following the belt sideways. I think that's just a really fun way of demonstrating that. You've got the pouch with the rations, the coin purse, simple dagger, lockpicks. Very, very swindler coded for sure. Interesting. I'm working out what's going on with the hand here, but I'm assuming that's to do with the ability. So let's have a little read. So, mark, right radius, ulnar, scaphoid and lunar. Okay, yeah. Following you. His mark gives him the ability to... Oh my god, it's Cousin It. That's what this is. He can detach his right hand and freely control... That's really fun. I'm a big fan of that. I really like that. Dollar specializes in deceiving and distracting and knows how to pick locks. He can fight if need be, but isn't particularly... That's what this is. This is the... So it literally cuts off where the gold cuts off. So I'm assuming this little bit of the gold is like here. That's its thing. I'm a big fan of that. I am a big fan of that. I think that's really silly, and that's what I love. But the thing is like it's silly, but in a gritty, gothic, I don't know, like Dark Souls, Diablo, Bloodborne-esque setting. Having someone just yank their spindly little, dirty hand off and throw it at your face, for example, is the stuff of nightmares. Like, that could be very silly, but also genuinely disturbing. It's the difference between, say, Cousin It and, like, I Lost My Body, if anyone's seen that. Not Cousin It, The Thing, rather. Versus, like, I Lost My Body or something like that. That could be genuinely upsetting, which I'm a big fan of. Dolos once tried stealing from an Order Electi officer, but was caught. He can't... Oh, chop it. Yeah, he can't chop his hand off. Can't shackle him. I wonder how he first got awakened then, given that you need external help with that. Very interesting. Thing law just dropped. Yeah, so someone said the hand gold connects... Oh, this is Random Gamer in the chat. Yeah, that's how I imagined it. The hand gold and the forearm gold connect, but they have a magical seam. Look over here, says someone. Throws manky hand at face and run... Yeah, it's genuinely... It could be quite upsetting. That's really fun. I like that a lot. What a great little entry. Thank you so much, Random Gamer. I found that very enjoyable, as did a lot of the chat by the looks of things. Right, next one we have The Mothiest Man with Raina Antonid. Very cool. I keep saying that because they're all so cool. I'm sorry if I just keep saying it. It's because I keep thinking it every single time. We've got this once again, another traditional art one. Very nice. Glad to see it. Love me a bit of traditional art. Ooh, this is done in biro, I think, or pen. You're a braver person than me, Mothiest Man. I can see their mark here on their cheek. Got this beautiful, like, once again, this music's very appropriate for our little medieval friend here. This is very, yeah, medieval coded. Got this beautiful little veil here, so I was just playing around with volume. I hope it sounds alright for everyone. Right, let's see what Raina can do. So Raina's 27, bar and innkeeper in Central Enivas. Cool, yes, this is very Central Enivas coded. It's very medieval. Most often only has a sack of coins and a pair of scissors on her. We can see that. I'm assuming she's got the scissors hidden somewhere. Ear and cheekbone. Yeah, so yeah, you can see cheekbone here and then it goes up to her ear. There you go. Has enhanced hearing only in that ear, nice touch, which is helpful when she gathers information that she can barter with. She is skilled in handling information and keeping the secrets of her clientele. Aside from her business, she is also an amateur seamstress. She inherited the inn from her father, called the White Lamb, and she's the most part content. Interesting. So this is someone who just is just being there, just offering a quiet listening ear. Very nice. I like that. It's really, like, it's really subtle, but that could be used a lot. Like, just having someone on standby who can just listen, who can just, you know, keep an eye out and hear much better than everyone else. Like, that's the kind of person you want on your team, right? You want that informant. Love it. Someone said, so she doesn't officially work for the Ordo Electi, but she totally works for the Ordo. I can imagine that's her relationship, right? Where the Ordo Electi were like, right, and as part of your 3 years of mandatory military service, go straight back to your tavern and just pretend that you don't work for us. That's great. And someone said in the comment section, lots of fun ideas here. Maybe she also shelters other members of the... Yeah, absolutely, she could shelter members of the Ordo Electi. But I think there's something to be said for, hey, you have a very popular inn. Just head back to work. Just you know, just keep an eye out, keep an ear out, keep one specific ear that we enchanted for you out. Yeah, you definitely want boots on the ground. You want people listening. A lot of the Ordo Electi are front-facing, but you definitely need people behind the scenes, keeping it all ticking along nicely. I like that a lot. Very pretty, and a really, really nice entry of the Mothius Man. Massive kudos to you. Right, I think next we have 2 from Letters. Letters, yes. Ooh, we got an older guy and we got an older lady. Love to see it. Love to see a variety in ages. Earlis, I hope. Kayan Azarigna. I'm not sure if it's a Rigna or a Rinya. Letters, wherever you may be, please tell me if it's a Rigna or Rinya. Love them either way. Inquisitor, with ties to a noble family. Yes, look at this. We're gonna gush over this design in a sec. I just want to learn a bit about her. She, her. Warden. She's a monocle. A little signet ring. Very cool. The monocles are of particular note. They're from Hackmite made magically with gold. Oh, so we've got a little enchanted monocle, by the sound of the things, or one that could be enchanted. Very cool. She questions people. Oh, so she's an interrogator, deals specifically with Ornatas. Ornata that have abilities usually to do with the presentation of the self, such as lies or disguise. Ooh, so she's maybe a little bit of a spy master, maybe a little bit of a handler, making sure that these Ornata are behaving themselves. Oh, and she's from a family that currently dealing, a noble family that currently dealing with the disappearance of one of their daughters. So yeah, she's got a she's very spy master coded. She's really dripped out, says someone in the chat, and I agree. Let's take a closer look at this. We've got this very medieval headdress, which I'm a big fan of. Gorgeous. She's got this lace. I love this almost like... I can't tell if this brocade is kind of... I think they're meant to be plants, but the colour combo is also very peacocky, which I really like. These little silver clasps. Oh, and these little slits, these little epithets, what they're called. Little clips for her cape. And she's got this very demure, like, you know, with the hand gesture. It's almost very saintly. But then, ooh, we've got this little clasp with the... Is that a knife? Is that a knife? Be honest with me, is that a knife? She's very Spy Master coded. I'm a big fan. And look at all of these gorgeous little details, these little clips. Got these beautiful, like, you know, details on the coat. People in the chat saying they're getting peacock too. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love how you've done the lace effect here, you know, this kind of... I try and do that more with like veils and stuff like that, but you've really nailed it here. Someone says, what you got there? A knife! Yeah, like, she's got the signet ring, she's got a little monocle, but then we're seeing what she's holding there. Interesting. There's something to me that's always very interesting about, like, a spy master or some... We saw Valuable's warden earlier, who was kind of like a combat specialist. There's something scarier, especially in a setting like this, about an older person, because people don't live long in a lot of cases because of sickness, because of murder, because of foul play, because of all sorts. It's one of those settings. There's something always scarier about someone who's old, right? And is still in this job. This is a really good outfit design. Very nice. Big fan of that. Cool. Well, massive props to you, Letters, and I think we have your second one to check out, which is Sua Azar. She, they. I'll try and remember that. 29 ex-noble. I love this. This is very cool. Look at that. You can see maybe they've got a little scar here that's also inlaid in gold. But look at that. I love this little detail here. Very nice. So they don't actually have a ton of gold on them. What you see is what you get for their markings. Very privateer coded. So ex-noble, yeah, looks like they might have run away with a more nautical lot. Let's have a look. Equipment, pair of earrings, a signet ring, a notebook. Is this the missing daughter? Disappearance of one of the guys. We're cracking. I'm excited. I'm cracking. This is my own universe, and I'm excited to crack a little code here. I've got the disappearance of a daughter, signet ring. This is my fan theory. And this notebook. I love this little wrinkly notebook with the little dog-eared pages and stuff. That's real cute. I like that a lot. Big fan. Okay, let's see what they're all about. Yeah, so that's where their mark is, because it's on the heel bone, or the spur, I think that's called, isn't it? Able to exert great strength via the lower legs, but only when walking. Works as a porter of huge burdens. Oh, that's interesting. So they can be really strong, but only when they're on the move. There's a real Achilles pun almost in here somewhere, and I really like that. Perhaps it's something to do with the foot being in contact with the ground. Interesting. So they don't fully understand the powers themselves. I like that. That's fun. And this idea that they've got to be in motion. That's interesting. So yeah, it's kind of like she can just keep walking and carrying stuff, but the second she stops, it's all over. I like that. That's a really fun idea. Someone says I've cracked the code. Oh, I hope so. Someone says the character comes with their own hydraulics. Yeah, they kind of do. Use the military as a chance of escape due to them wanting to fulfill a dream of seeing the world. 3rd year into her service. Oh, good for Sua. Very cool. I like that a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got to be, because it's Azar and then, yeah, there we go. We've cracked it. This is a really neat pair of designs. I'm a big fan of this. I'm also imagining Sua constantly trying to avoid Airlease, or Irelease, depending on who you ask, during her service. That's very funny to me. That's really interesting. I am a big fan of this. This is a really interesting set of powers, and a really interesting non-powered but very powerful individual over here. Really nice stuff. Good job. Next is It's Wednesday, I believe. Yep. Who has 2 entries. So for context, it's Wednesday actually did the first ever fan character for Golden Bone. Sorry, I just cracked my back there and that was very loud. Which was a grave robber, but obviously the lore has expanded a lot since then, so I'm very excited to see what Wednesday does now. Let's take a look. Gabriel Hassard / Rhythm. So Rhythm, I'm assuming, is his nickname. 32. Him. Used to be a lumberjack. Ooh, clearly not a lumberjack anymore. Looking very piratey. Coastal Enavas garb. Yeah, this is very coastal Enavas. Heart chest mark. Look at the detail here, gang. Let's just appreciate that. That is a beautiful, like, gorgeous rendering of a skeleton right there. It's so obvious where the gold is placed. I really love that. That's beautiful. And then the skin pigment comes through over his heart. That's such a gorgeous idea. I love that. I'm a really big fan of that, Wednesday. Yeah, I'm just going to take a minute longer just to appreciate this. I love the shading here. This is, yeah. I need to get better at describing things with simpler gestures. Like, this is very intricate, but then they've used this, you know, nice thicker gestural bits here on the skeleton, and it's really effective because it means it reads... I'm gesturing with my hands and realizing you guys can't see me. It reads much better from a distance that way, which I really appreciate. Love that. He can sense the presence of other Ornata and their power. I'm assuming we're going to learn more about that here. He's got a hand-carved flute, an instrument he uses to play the rhythms of the Ornata around him. I'm sure we'll find out what that is. Carving tools, used to craft or repair his instrument, and keep his hands busy whittling on random pieces of wood. Chest marked over the heart, which we've just seen. A hum vibrates in his chest, there's the rhythm. Near other Ornata, at a distance, it's just noise, but becomes distinct rhythms when closer. At arm's length, he can read the rhythm and understand an Ornata's power. Interesting. I'd be really interested to know if he can do it with unawakened Ornata, or if they have to be awakened because their ability isn't vibing at that point. That's really cool. And he's got to be up close as well, which kind of jazzes things up somewhat. His military role is to scout, recruit, and assess inherent powers of Ornata before they undergo arduous and expensive awakening for the Enavas army. That's interesting. If a character like Gabriel or Rhythm showed up, that would basically paradigm shift the entire Ordo Electi. The entire world right now has no means of determining what someone's ability is, so someone like Gabriel would be a huge paradigm shift if he existed there. That's really interesting. It's getting me thinking about my setting, right? It's crazy to think how such a simple ability could jazz things up so much. And he looks great. I really love this design. Cool. That's really nice. Hey, it's Wednesdays in the chat. Yeah, like I say, he'd be a huge paradigm shift. Good for him. Good for Gabriel. Look at him go. That's really neat. What a great design, and thank you so much. I love all of these technical drawings you've added as well. They add so much to it. And I love his big floppy hat. Big fan. Awesome. Yeah, I can imagine him going out like a recruiter, right? And just headhunting people. Really fun. Let's see your second one. The Bloodhound. Lucretia? Is it Lucretia or Lucretia? Gold. I love that her surname's Gold. Gotta love it. The Bloodhound. Central Enavas. Yeah, this is very Central Enavas, but a little bit of the modern Enavas on the bottom. That's kind of fun. We got... Nope, we're not doing stuff with lyrics. There we go. Perfect. Got this very cool mouth mark, and once again, this really gorgeous drawing. Love it. Hahaha. This is fun. I like this a lot. We can see where the skin pigment is and where it is on her jaw. Yeah, really nice. This is great as well because she'd be a great... I've just had a peek at her powers there. She can tell if you're lying by tasting your blood, sweat, and tears. It's very similar to, and I like it because once again, it's slight variations. One I had in mind where he can taste the air like a snake, for if you're lying or something. So I love all of this is creepy in the best possible way. Love it. Big fan of this outfit. Love, especially this. I'm a big fan of puffy sleeves and then tight lower sleeves. Mutton shoulders, I think these are called. Really beautiful. Look at the patterning there. Big fan of that. And then a little bit more free-spirited, almost a kind of coastal garb. It's not like binding her ankles, you know, she can move. Really like that. Used to be a makeup artisan, I see. Yeah, you can tell she's very elegant, very well put together. Really like that. Equipment gold spoon. She enjoys scraping fluids off the... Oh, that's really neat because she's a classy lady. She's not just gonna lick you. She's a proper lady. She's gonna take her little golden spoon or her little silver spoon, or what's the classic one? It's like an ivory spoon, isn't it? You're gonna, like for caviar, and you're gonna scrape a little bit off. I like it. That's fun. Blood vials to keep his trophies. Ooh, gold lipstick. That's really fun. So she's made a custom gold lipstick so that her lips finish, so she can finish them off so that they all match. That is so fun. That's really great. Oh, what a fun idea. You know what? I respect it. She knows what looks good. She knows what looks good, and she wants to look good, and she wants to feel fabulous. Good for her. Her gilded tongue allows her to tell if someone is lying by tasting their blood, sweat, and tears. The deeper the lie, the more the fluids she needs to taste. Ooh, interesting. Ashamed of her mental stability, her family hid her until she escaped to join the Enavas army. Now in awake on Donata, she interrogates prisoners of war with methods bordering on criminal. Yeah, you know what? If I was stuck to a chair and a lady comes in and just licks me, I would, yeah. Even if she scraped me with a spoon, man, that's threatening. Someone comes into the room and scrapes you with a spoon? That is the most threatening thing I can think of. Like, that's scary. Someone said here, she's that one interrogator that menacingly cuts you before licking. She really is, except it's actually part of her method. As someone said in the chat, yeah, that Rob Human, the spoon is almost worse. I love that. That's real fun. She's a classy lady, but she's got a bit of a wild side. You got to be a bit insane to do what she does. I love that. And I also really like the mark, and I mean this in the best possible way, Wednesday. She's a very beautiful character, but you have made her mark not like dainty. Like, that is a smear. It's not what we would call like colloquially, like, it's not balanced, it's not dainty. It is this almost Joker, or Chelsea smile is the original term. That's what the Joker cuts are called. They're called Chelsea smiles here in the UK. There's something very visceral about it, and I really like that balance of very dainty and then this very visceral thing. Someone says, kind of reminds me of Toga from My Hero Academia. I've not actually watched My Hero Academia, but yeah, that's real good. I'm a big fan of that. That's really nicely done. And the chat agrees. And someone said that, yeah, good point as well. She could also kiss someone to get a bit of a tell on them. So yeah, very interesting. It's one of those things where it's an ability that forces her to be in contact with people quite a bit, which is always interesting. Fantasy Forge is in the chat. Everyone dap up Fantasy Forge real quick. Absolute legend. Good stuff. Hi Fantasy Forge, how's it going? Cool. Right. We better skedaddle on through. We got so many more to get through. Okay, we got Noah GG. They're next. Once again, we have a fine art one. We have a traditional art, and then they have scanned it in or taken a photo of it. Very cool. We've got this very dramatic silhouette here with the sword and this very chunky armor. Really like it. Oh, sorry. Alina. Arshiver? Swordswoman / strategist. An ornata. We can see that here. Obviously covering it up over here. She needs some sleep, bless her. 21, she's looking tired. Mind you, I was tired at 21. I don't blame Alina. Solid steel sword, a little small journal, collection of unsent letters. Ooh, I think we're about to find out some juicy backstory. Silver locket, an engraved flask. Mark all left carpals and metacarpals bones, extends halfway up the radius. Native gold located on her left palm. Okay, so it's all this section of the left arm. Alina's gold allows her to heat up her left hand to the point of glowing. There's trouble regulating temperature. Oh yeah, a lot of the powers are tied to emotion. That does check out. She's been observed to be able to melt steel. She uses her powers for long duration at high temperatures. Despite feeling no pain, her skin will begin to blister. Ooh, that explains a lot of the scarring. Ooh, so she can superheat her hand. That's a good, solid utility ability right there. I didn't mean to rhyme there with utility ability, but it's a good, solid one. Real cool. Imagine she was a germaphobe, someone says. Cool, let's have a look. Has knowledge of plants. Used in the process of making vitae. Very cool. A bit of lore, a bit of tying in some of my alchemy video there. Due to being the daughter of farmers who harvested ash and orphak, I love that you have remembered plants I've made. I'm grinning from ear to ear. That's very flattering. Thank you so much. Learned basic self-defense on the streets of multiple cities and learned to be proficient with the sword. Nice. I like this. So, I think there's a pressure to make your character super OP right from the bat, but it's like Alina knew a bit, but she needed training to develop that, which is realistic. In the duration of her first 2 years, she learned from peers how to strategize. Nice, yeah, see, so this is someone who's like, I have a lot to learn, I got that raw potential, I can melt stuff with my hand, let's go, teach me what you want to teach me. I like that. Alina feels like a team player, that's what you want to hear. So, born in a roadside village near the border of Enavas. Alina grew up under the guidance of her parents, both farmers, as we learned earlier, who provide alchemists with plants needed for the creation of vitae. Her native gold began to show at a young age. Yeah, it's usually usually when you're a baby, usually at birth. So yeah, a little bit of a late bloomer, but she oh, poor thing. It showed soon enough, and it wasn't until she turned 16 that parents hired a trusted. Oh, so she wasn't awakened by the thing either. So that was very dangerous. So for context, in Enavas, the Ordo Electi basically have a monopoly on all the alchemists who know how to awaken someone, which means that Alina basically got juiced up on, it's basically like if the government had the monopoly on energy drinks and then a back alley guy gave you lighter fluid. Alina's lucky to be alive, bless her. She's not doing so hot. I like all of these uses of her hand, that she can use it to clear crops and heat up and cleanse stuff. That's really cool. You could use her to also heat up. I don't think they understand how germs work fully yet, but you could definitely get her to clean stuff for sure. She was found homeless on the streets and starting an alley brawl. Yep, that is how they do a lot of their best recruiting. A break, blood on the ground, dead alchemist, a burning house, a hastily written love notes, and a stolen horse. And ooh, we've got a little bit of a mysterious background here. Very, very cool. Okay. Let's on to the next one, which is Eva Tsella. I'm assuming that's Tsella. TS, which is from Quello Bello, or Kello Bello, who was in the chat earlier. I'm not sure if they're still about. Hopefully they will see this. Good stuff. I'm just hopping along bit by bit. Very, very fun, bardic, fancy outfit going on here. Big fan of that. Look at that. Love this foreshortening on the blade. Very good. I'm terrible at that. Hey, you're in the chat. Bello, I have to ask, is it Quello or Kello? Just so I get your name right in the future. K like Kellogg's, or like Queen? Because Eva is a queen. Look at them go. I love it. She's got like this little dainty pose here. She's kind of got like one foot like foreshortened and pointing all dainty like. I love the posing here. Very nice little hat. Very bardic. Little gardener and strategist. I like the gardener element. There's definitely think quite as in queen, says Quello Bello. Brilliant. 33, cool. It's nice to see more experienced individuals. 33 isn't like old or anything, but it's like that's outside of those 3 years of mandatory service usually, right? Well, not everyone joins at 18. Some people join when they're 50, 60, whenever, but it usually, if you find someone in their mid to late 20s or older, it usually indicates they've been around for a while, right? Sword, received when she was promoted to the rank of captain. Okay, so she's got a bit of experience under her belt, yeah. Sword is enchanted to be silent when it's swaying. That's a very neat little enchantment as well. I like that. It's not something crazy. It'd be something that's easier to do, but it'll probably just give her that little edge. I like that. That's a fun idea. Nice. Little fedora, classic kind of fedora. Protects from the sun. Nice. In fact, yeah, what a lot of people think of as a fedora with like the neck beard is actually a trilby. This is more fedora-esque. OG, like old school one. Her mark is on her left rib, so it's somewhere up here. Power and skills as one heart. As long as Eva and her allies have the same objective, their morale, coordination, and overall battle prowess are considered. Interesting. So Eva boosts people nearby whose objectives align with her own. That could be scary, because what happens when you're in a group and you don't fully know how Eva's ability works, and one of your guys is stumbling a whole lot? That could be scary, because it's like, hey, why aren't you in sync with the rest of us? That could be really fun. I really like that. In order for this ability to activate, Eva and her team have to stay close to each other for at least a week in order for their hearts to synchronize. Once synchronized, their heart will beat at the same rate, and members of the team will be aware of each other. The longer they stay together, the stronger the effect. That could be really interesting as well, because then to work on a team with Eva, you would basically need to have a debrief time where maybe you want to then desynchronize, so maybe you spend time apart afterwards. That's really interesting. And yeah, what happens if someone in the group suddenly doesn't start acting the way they should be? That could be scary. Maybe they're just really clumsy though. Maybe they're like, no, this is me with increased battle prowess, I just suck. Oh yeah, sorry, Schnaz Wizard, I'm just working through them in order. I promise I will get to yours. You might just have to check it out in the recording. I've just got like them all in a folder and I'm going through in order. Worked as a gardener before being fired. Eva, you are us all. You represent us all. Joined the army where she, thanks to her power, quickly climbed through the ranks. Yes, I can imagine someone like Eva, despite it being a very understated power, will definitely... Like, she's someone you want on your team, right? She's the one that you would always want to put with the others because she helps the others excel. The reverse would be neat. Also says that Rob Human makes me wonder what would happen if someone who you think is against her is actually not, suddenly gets boosted. Oh, that wouldn't work because of the acclamation time. I suppose it could work. I mean, obviously, Quello Bello would have to tell us, but I suppose if they were like in close quarters and it's like, oh, I don't trust so-and-so. He's meant to be on our team, but I don't trust him. But then he seems to be getting that good magic boost. It could work. I really like that. That leaves a lot of room for storytelling, but also it's very understated. It's Eva allows others to excel, which I really like. That's a really fun idea. Really nice stuff, and as everyone says in the chat, the pose is serving. Let's check out Quello Bello's second one. What is it with you and poses? They're so good. Let's check them out. I like it. The jaw. Got this very cool gun. Oh, you guys draw guns so well. Teach me. Teach me. I like the lighting as well. This is really cool. This is a very loose painting style, and yet from a distance it reads incredibly well. Really nicely done on this one. Lucien Tullit, 27. Disowned Noble, very nice. Love me a good Disowned Noble story. He, him. Flintlock gun, the standard gun given, yes. Not all NFS soldiers will be given one, but if they feel like you'd benefit from a gun, you probably get, it's not going to be great, but you're going to get given a little gun, just as a little treat. Sturdy, reliable, but it doesn't have any enchantments. Yeah, that's the classic Flintlock issue. Interesting. Someone said, you guys do guns so well, a proud mother. Oh god, yeah, I mean, I like guns, but I'm not good at guns. I like drawing people holding guns, love the aesthetic of a good, like, flintlock pistol. I'd be the first to admit that there are people on my Discord who would absolutely bury me every single time if we were comparing who drew guns better. I'm learning from people on the Discord as much as they are hopefully getting a little bit of inspiration from Golden Bone. Mark is on the chin and lower jaw. Yeah, we've seen that. His power allows him to project his voice directly into someone's ear as if he's whispering from right next to them. I remember talking about this on Discord. In order to use his ability, he needs to know the exact location of his targets. Usually this would mean he needs line of sight to use his power. But synergy with other powers... Synergy, you say? Synergy with other powers, you say? Sorry, I'll head back. Usually means he needs line of sight to use his power, but synergy with others can bypass this limitation. After disagreement with his father, he left his house and joined the military. Good for Lucien. I love the skill there of you know, like the utility of that, like being able to project a voice directly into someone's ear. That's such a fun idea. Really like that. It's just such it's neat. I just think it's neat. Ooh, my favourite D&D spell, someone says. Yeah, biblical references. Yeah, absolutely. Really fun, really interesting. As if he's whispering directly behind you could also, like, that could be really good for communicating with allies, but it could also be really good for disconcerting or disorienting your enemies. Like, that's got some fun reference. I like that. That's real fun. Good for you, Lucien. Keep up the good work. Your service is welcome. Okay, next is a warden from the one and only Frog again. This is Frog's second one. We saw Frog's other one earlier. Dorian Voss, 29, northern farmer fueled by loss. Oh, he's got a tragic backstory. Yes. He, him. Love. He looks like, you know, this is a 29-year-old who's seen some stuff, you know, he's battle hardened, scratches on all the armor, got almost kind of like Roman meets Scottish Celtic kilt / tunic thing going on here, which I'm a big fan of, because this is almost like a sporran, right? I think that's how you pronounce it, which is more Scottish, and this is a little more Roman. I really like that. That's a good little hybrid bit of design there. Got these shields that have kept these, you've got the bullet holes in them, or dents there. I don't think they've gone through. Really nice. This is my favourite thing about hybrid setting, is you can have a real Roman centurion meets Celtic shield, and it can have bullet marks on it. Oh, there's the back of the shield. Look at that. Look at that, gang. Love that. He's got like a little hand axe and some little thin knives going on there, or little short swords or daggers. What a great idea. Really like that. That's lovely. Dang, he's Jax this one. He absolutely is. Frog says, for this one I want to try out a way different art style and I'm super happy with it. Yeah, Frog, honestly, like initially it looked good, but I almost didn't recognise your art style, which so I was like, wait, is this Frog? And it is your stuff and it looks great. I'm really pleased, and it's so awesome that you were experimenting. That's what we wanted. That's what we got. Exciting. Right, let's find out about Dorian. Bastion, Voss's signature shield, was crafted from iron sheets used to defend himself during the raid. I'm assuming we're about to find out about the raid. Combined with the crushed bones of those who... Oh my gosh, this guy's metal. Good for him. The ram is his family crest, and the sun is the symbol of his village. Yes, sun symbols are really big in Anivas. Sun rays and golden suns. You can even see in the top here, this kind of sun ray thing. So yeah, suns are a really common symbol in Anivas. Pike. Voss wields a pike with a long slender shaft. Yeah. 2 daggers and a short sword. Yeah, we saw this down there. On belt, he's got his flint, steel, oil canisters, whetstones, medical supplies, rations, all the good stuff. Yeah, this guy's ready for like weeks, you know, on the road. In Sporran. It is a Sporran. I'm very proud of myself for recognizing a Sporran. Very nicely done, Frog. It really does translate very, very well. A cherished drawing of his family. Oh no. Oh no. Dorian, you poor guy. I feel so bad for him. Voss serves as an overseer, specialising in shield combat, skill and pike, short sword, hatchet and dagger, renowned for his shield mastery. Rapidly deflect and count. Yeah, this feels like a kind of overseer guy. Like, this is someone who is equipped to deal with specific kinds of ornata, you know? This is another reason that various fighting styles are all valid, because when you're dealing with someone who can do a random magical thing, you know, there might be an ornata out there where you can only fight them with wood, you know, so it's good to have a variety of skills and different people. Using his shield as a critical tool, yeah, I can imagine him deflecting a lot of ornata abilities. His exceptional strength and endurance allows him to wear heavy armour and endure rigorous conditions, and he has a history of foraging and shelter building, because he's kind of got like humble farmer origins. I like it. He joined the Order Electi after losing his wife and son in a raid on his village in northern Anivas. That, Frog, I'm a bit concerned that you might be able to read my mind, my guy, because there is issues in northern Anivas, and I'm wondering if you've managed to hack into my Google Doc. Very, very astute, very canon. Which profoundly shaped his stoic demeanour and strict discipline. He was found by a nearby military convoy. Oh my god. He went absolute beast mode on the raiders. Dorian, with the bodies of all 7 of them around him, Dorian has practical craftsmanship skills, often customising his equipment. Dorian takes his mentorship responsibilities seriously. I love it. Speaks the heavy Scottish accent. Heck yes, we need more Scots. Absolutely. That is great, Frog. I like Dorian a lot. He's good. He was a dad, so I'm imagining he gives like big dad energy with some of the younger recruits, or big brother energy, you know. And as someone pointed out in the chat, yeah, when guns were pretty new, heavy metal armor could deflect or stop bullets, and I would say that is frequently the case in this setting. Obviously it's a fantasy setting, but I would agree. So yeah, he's effective. That's awesome. Really nicely done, Frog. I like him a lot. He's got a tragic backstory, but he's got a lot of heart. And I like that, because I think too frequently when someone's got a tragic backstory, and it's not that it doesn't happen, but we tend to make them mean and nasty or loner, or I don't want to talk about it. But I've met lots of people who, it's not that they're not affected by the tragedy they've experienced, but they're like, I've got to keep living, I've got to keep doing something good. And it's nice that Dorian has found a new purpose. I really like that. That's lovely. Anya. I remember seeing a big flash of green earlier and thinking, ooh, yes, I can't wait for this one. So this is from V in the Flowers, who has done Anya, and it is once again another lovely traditional piece of art that I believe has either been scanned or photographed. Let's take a look at this gorgeous... This is very central Anivas. Very old school high-waist dress, and I love how they've played with shape language to have it kind of almost merge with the shape of their harp. That's really neat. Big fan of this. Hi Anya, 37. She looks amazing for 37. I need her skincare routine. I like her little curls. These are very Mediterranean, these little curls. Anya is... massive kudos to V in the Flowers. This is... very heavily Enavas coded. Like, you can tell, for context, for those of you just tuning in or skipping through, sorry, I've got the hiccups. It's because I've been talking for so long. I gave a style guide for Enavas and like the different, because it's so big, like different areas of Enavas, and you can tell that V and the Flowers has really run with it. Really nice and gorgeous instrument. Look at the little squishies on the sleeves here. Love that. I don't know if they're in the chat right now, or if that whenever you see this, but I really love how you've done the ties here on the sleeves. That's gorgeous. You can tell they've really used their references. References are important, people. I can also see a golden ear, so let's see how far that extends. Multi-instrumentalists, composer, and spy. Ooh, I wonder if Anya could maybe play in our other golden-eared individual's bar from earlier, the one who owned the tavern. I think they get along very well. She has her beloved instruments, and she favours the cittern and the harp above all others. The 3 small bones, oh, so it's the bones in her ear. That's a really fun detail. That are golden, and maybe parts of the skull around it or something. When Anya uses her gift, she focuses by playing her instruments. That's how she's learnt to use her ability. Cool. For the duration of that focus, she can perfectly recall what she hears. As a regionally famous musician, Anya's gift has been applied as surveillance. Oh, so you could send Anya to be like, oh, hey, do you want to go play at this court for us? And then she will perfectly recall everything she hears while she's playing. That's really fun. Even successfully rooting out a plot of embezzlement and extortion. That's great. Really fun. Unfortunately, the awakening caused hearing loss in her right ear. When she uses her gift, she experiences oh, interesting. This is one of the few we've seen. There was a few others, but this is one of only a handful where we've seen, and to be fair, it doesn't happen every time. It frequently doesn't. But someone who's had negative side effects to the chemicals in the awakening process, which is unfortunate for her, but very interesting for us. She experiences a tinnitus when she uses her ability and a pleasant buzzing in her ear, which can take days to subside, so she's maybe not got as much stamina for it as she used to, you know. She's like, oh, I need a few days after doing that mission just to kind of get back to normal again. Really cool. Let's have a look. Notes: Anya was a middle-class child prodigy of music, taught from an early age by her great-uncle. With skill, charisma, and good connections, Anya met a noble patron who took interest in her, and once she came of age, she was offered an opportunity to awaken her gift in exchange for service to the Ordo Electi as a spy. Cool, so she was headhunted. I like it. Good for Anya. And now at 37, she's clearly, she's served as a fair number of years as a spy. Good for her. Very cool. Good for Anya. Really like this design. And I love this very medieval veil she's got going on. Perfect. Right. Not many more to go, folks. Let's have a little look. So this is from B-Bead Draws. B-Bead Draws. Thank you so much for submitting. Let's meet Dorothy. Dorothy Haddock. Is that Dorothy? Or no, it's spelled Dorothy here as well. So it's Dorothy Haddock. Very Fisher / pirate coded. Very cute. 20. She, them. Uses a fishing spear. Has coloured cloths for signalling ships. Oh yeah, like these little bits here. And spool of rope. Very handy if you're a fisher person. Yeah, former whale hunting captain. Ooh, yeah, that's a whale hunter's fishing spear for sure. They're a warden. Currently a recruit. So kind of low ranking, just starting out. Expert sailing, expert swimming. Yes, oh, I'd hope so. She used to be, help with whale hunting. Incapable fighter outside of water. Scouts for ships. Chief officer. Okay, so they've hired someone who kind of knows their stuff on the water and is kind of relying on, her expertise in that area. Cool. I like that. Let's have a little looky. Sorry, my phone is playing havoc at the minute. Very cool. Dorothy was born into a tribe of northern anglers, whale hunters and sailors who believed the ocean provided all one needed. Very cool. And life was intended to be one to be as close as possible with the ocean. The tribe obtained these goals by replacing the skin of experienced anglers with the skin of their greatest catchers. Interesting. So this is someone who's kind of come up with maybe their own like headcanon, like some lore stuff where they like replace their skin with scales. Interesting. There isn't anything like that currently, but there is something actually similar. So I will say this, is that you, BB Draws, are close to some actual canon here, which is very neat. I love that we've thought in similar ideas of like, how could these people adapt to the ocean? Big fan, love that. Before leaving her home, Dorothy had earned this surgery. Yeah, oh, that's what these are, the little pink scales. I like... one second, let me finish reading this. She left home with the ambition of sailing foreign waters. She travelled for 2 years before finally ending her journey. Oh, cool. So she's kind of got a bit of that wanderlust. I really like BB Draws that Dorothy was born with a limb difference, and that is just a really nice, casual part of her design. She's just as capable as anyone else. You've not tried to romanticize it in any way. They just are who they are, and I really like that. I think casual representation is really important in fantasy settings, and Golden Bone, because of how it is, it's very body horror-esque, but it also allows for a lot of variety, and I really like that you've lent into that with Dorothy here. That's really nice. Massive kudos, my friend. And I really like all of this. This is a very well-travelled individual. She's got like all of these tattoos and different patterns and stuff like that. And I know that you've done a second one, so I'm just going to check that out. Nicolin, age 31, and we got someone a little bit more experienced. This one was a warden. This is now an ornata. She, them, former southern mercenary. They've got a copper arm. Oh, you've played around with the enchantment idea. They've got this prosthetic going on here, but instead of it being all steampunky, it's a bit more raw, almost raw looking. Got a short sword. Ooh, we can see, I think that might be an ornata marking there. Let's have a look. Yep, lower back of skull, over cerebellum. Powers and skills. Enhanced bioelectricity output. That's interesting. So that explains the drawing. So for context, everyone puts out electricity. That's how our brains function. So Nicolin can increase their output. Electric blast and punch, only possible. Oh, so they needed something to conduct that electricity. That's really nice. I like that. Unable to control multifunctions when using mass. That's also a nice little touch, that when they're overwhelmed with electricity, they might struggle to control their motor skills. So Nicolin is kind of striking me as a bit of a glass cannon. Like maybe she can punch real hard, but then they might be a bit incapacitated for a while. So you probably want to get her to go after the tank of someone else's team or something like that. Really neat, really cool. Let's read a bit about them. Nicolin was born into an icy southern tribe that held no feelings towards Ornata. Nicolin would be raised as a nomad, following the warmest spots in the icy wastes in order to survive. We request the member of the Bishat to craft a mechanism capable of controlling her powers. For 10 years, Nicolin would make a living off of helping. Oh, so she comes from a very harsh environment, and she used to guide others through this harsh environment she called home, and rob those who refused to help. Ooh, we've got a little bit of a grey area person here. Interesting. Ooh, actually no, straight up crimes. Yeah, her crimes would eventually catch up with her, and almost every town in the south knew of her. Interesting. So this is maybe someone who joined the Ordo Electi to escape a prison sentence. We got some naughty folks here. Cool stuff, Nicolin. Okay, I like me some like morally grey to genuinely not good people characters. I find them interesting. I think they're really cool. Also, when you can kind of understand why they'd end up that way, this is clearly someone who's used to a lot of hardship. And maybe, just needed it to survive, That's really cool. I'm also looking at my phone and I still cannot work out for the life of me why the delay is as bad as it is. I'm definitely going to have to, if anyone can offer me any tips in the Discord about OBS, YouTube delays, or if it's just my internet, please do, because I'd like to be able to respond with no 20-second delay. But I'm also aware that I'm in the UK and maybe there's just a delay. Right, we're almost at the end, folks. We've only got a few left. I say that, I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got quite a few left. Let's see if we can whiz through the last few. But still give lots of time to everyone. It's a difficult balance. Next is Julie Aria, who is one of our beloved mods over on the Discord as well. As a disclaimer, all of the mods, sorry, my throat is very dry. And maybe I should have done this in 2 parts, but I'm committed now. I'm committed. I'm all in. None of the mods knew anything about the briefing until the exact same time that everyone else did. And also they are not getting any say in that final decision on if I want to make one canon. That's just me, which meant that all of the mods could take part. And it's all fair and square. This is Daniel Mason. Loving this outfit. If you could tell one thing from my designs, I love me a good cape. He's got this very youthful kind of boy look, but then this, you know, there's a little steely gaze there. Love these little, all the little details here. Like you've got these beautiful little buckles, these little strings. Really love all the detail you've put in. That's gorgeous. That's really gorgeous. Really nice. Your boy is here. And they're looking beautiful. Look at them go. Sorry, I was just adjusting that. I love the effect that's going on here with the hand. I can't wait to learn more about that. That's going to be fun. This one is really gorgeous. Really loving it. Someone's just said the delays... sorry, this is me reading back through the chat a little. The delay is due to how YouTube processes the live stream, which is why you don't get it with dedicated streaming services. Thank you, Furyhound the Devil Dog. That is really appreciated for that insight. I'm not very smart. This is really beautiful. Yeah, the chat is rizzing you up, Julie, and for good reason. This is really nice. I love the detail. I really do admire a lot of the people on the Discord's art. A lot of it is more developed than mine. I'd be the first to admit that. Which is why it's a real honor to have you take part. Wow, that's absolutely gorgeous. 23, he, him, son of an acclaimed alchemist. Ah, yes, this is the steely gaze of someone whose dad knows what he's doing. Or mother, we will find out, one of the two. I love that you've drawn his equipment. We've got a small medical bag. This pair of simple daggers, a little nick taken out of one. Some old gloves. Once again, what is it with you guys and drawing these beautiful pistols? So beautiful. That's gorgeous. Someone says the style looks very similar to mine, like artist, like mod. Entirely coincidental. I did not pick my mods based on art skills. But I'm very honoured that you think that mine looks even similar to Julie's, because this is just gorgeous. Really gorgeous artwork. Mark is on the left wrist. Yeah. What he do? He can heal wounds. Nice. Short, sweet, to the point. Let's find out a little bit more about it. He is able to channel the energy within his body into whoever he touches in order to heal them, including himself. Healing this way will always leave a scar. Nice, okay, interesting. So it'll leave a mark. He cannot regrow lost limbs. And if a broken bone is not properly set, he will cause... Oh, interesting. So he could, like... You would have to re-break it and then reset it if it didn't set correctly. Since he uses his own body's energy, his ability can be very dangerous for him. The more severe the wound, the more of a toll it takes on him, leaving him in need of an energizing snack at best and catatonic for days at worst. Ah, interesting. So he could like heal himself, but I'm imagining him getting like paler and more sickly looking, you know, as he does so. That's a really nice balancing. That's a nice way of balancing it. Really nice. Daniel was reluctant to join the Ordo Electi, only doing so and becoming an ornator after being much pressure from his influential father. Yeah, I wonder if his father is one of the alchemists the Ordo Electi have on retainer. That would be really interesting. He was also a firebrand growing up, quick to speak his mind. Always a firebrand, sorry, growing up, quick to speak his mind and get himself into trouble. This fact, paired with his abysmal bedside manner, has meant that he spends most of his time out in the... Oh, he's definitely a field medic then. Much more of a field medic. His hands are usually covered with a pair of old gloves. Oh my god, that's the gloves from earlier. Ah! Pair of old gloves, both to hide his golden mark and to avoid accident. Interesting, yeah, he could like, if he made skin-to-skin contact, accidentally heal someone and wipe himself out prematurely. Interesting. I like that a lot. That's a really fun ability. One ability I will fully admit that I always tend to shy away from in stuff is healing, only because I find that healing can, if you don't balance it correctly, can remove any sense of danger, because it's like, oh, well, they're just going to get healed up in a bit. There's no long-lasting effects, there's no recovery period, there's no danger. But because Daniel is drawing from his own reserves and it kind of balances itself out, I'm imagining him having to be very picky and choosy over who he helps and who he doesn't. And I think that's really cool, because not only does it make it work, but it also lends a certain degree of intrigue to the situation. How's he going to manage those difficult situations? I really like that. Beautiful work, Julie. Seriously, really gorgeous. Love the hard surface stuff. Love the rendered stuff. All very beautiful. Right, next is Fishizzle. Fishizzle. Ooh, very sparse this one, but a very... Folks, are we about to see some gold blight? There's a little bit of gold blight I see right here. Is that some real malignancy I see there? Uh-oh, this might be a very poorly guy. Pierre, 29, homeless and ostracized family. Oh, this poor guy. He's not got anything to his name, gang. His equipment's empty. Him, left frontal bone unawakened. There's gold blight growing into his brain, making him schizophrenic. The Ordo Electi thought he could see the future, so they picked him up before they realised. Oh no! So this is a guy who was picked up by the Ordo Electi and then kicked out, which is a horrible way to treat someone who is mentally ill or physically ill, and is unfortunately how a lot of people, not just in settings such as this, but in its real world basis and time periods, is unfortunately how some people were treated, and how I think we arguably still do continue to treat people who are sick or ill. This poor guy. Yeah, that's a really sad, and yeah, just a really sad look at that poor guy, Pierre. This is really poignant. Yeah, really nicely done though, Fishizzle, because yeah, it's one of those things. I think it's a really difficult thing when you're doing a setting like this, is that it's going to bring up a lot of uncomfortable subject matter. There's subjects of like colonialism and how we treat those who, can't maybe provide. Definitely the Ornata are meant to be there as like a metaphor for providing and being useful and all of that sort of stuff, and definitely Pierre works into that narrative really well of unfortunately how we treat people who we do not deem useful. Really poignant entry there for Shizzle. That's I feel really bad for him. That's a really raw look at things, and really gorgeous, gory but gorgeous artwork here of the gold blight. Like, yeah, really gorgeously done. My kind of body horror. I am someone who drew gold blight that one time. I'm not gonna, hide away from this. This is real cool. I think you did a really excellent job with it. I also can't tell if this is a really nice pencil brush, or if you actually did this traditionally and then scanned it, but either way, I really like the texture on this one. This is nice texture. really neat. Thank you so much for your entry. That's real cool. Ooh, this one's very dynamic. He's doing a little pose. He's doing a little pose, gang. What's it mean? Let's find out. Oh, are those straps? They are. Right, this entry this submission comes from Schnauzer Wizard. This is Hubert McNabb, the Gold Man. He's got a little mark at the top of his spine, which you can see there. Okay. Got a lot of equipment going on here. Ooh, a little bit of a self-experimentation, is that? Maybe. There's a scar. That looks like a gold scar, maybe. Interesting. Oh wait, no, this is like thread? Let's read and find out. Let's read and find out. It's an alchemical or alchemy scholar? Alchemy scholar? Oh, I can't read today. He, him, 26. He has a book of artificial alchemy, a book stolen from his old mentor, which contains information on how to imbue gold, and with it powerful effects into a non-ornata, and amplify the abilities of the subject. Book did not disclose long-lasting effects. A staff of pain transfer. Wow, this is much more advanced magic than you would normally see in this setting, but a really cool idea. This almost feels like a D&D item. I like it. Pain stored in the runes on his arm gets instantly felt by those who... Yeah, like pain transference. This would be like a really cool magic item in like a D&D game or something. I like that. Back of neck with gold on spine. Right there. As is illustrated. Really gorgeous work here. Love these little anatomical drawings. Pain manipulation. First was just stopping pain. So he's modified himself to store and transfer pain. During his service years, he picked up some skill with a bow staff, which has influenced his basic understanding of woodworking. Cool, so he's picked up a little bit of maybe more martial fighting skills along the way. Sansa looks like he shot first. He does, he's got like this real like, mad scientist vibe going on, which I think is maybe what you're going for here with a little bit of the self-experimentation and stuff. That reads really well, I like that. But unhinged. In the previous years, he started working on alchemy process, debuted years ago by his former mentor. So it's an experimentation, but unfortunately it's caused signs of early gold blight. The doc says he has 10 years to live. Oh, interesting. So it's kind of experimentation that has caused a kind of altered version of gold blight, I think is what Schnauzer Wizard's going for here. But gained a new point of view on life, one of impermanence, freedom, and maybe... Oh, so he's yeah, I think there's nothing quite like having a ticking time bomb put inside you that might make you a little fit to burst with, emotion, might make you a little unreliable. Yeah, that's not the look of a guy who's doing hot. Interesting. That also explains what we've got going on here on the arms and stuff like that. It's supposed to look just like gold, says Schnauzer Wizard. That's the modification. Oh, I see. Oh, and Izzy Dax in the chat, who I'm just as a backup for, I think, referring to this work of Pierre here, it says that they scanned it and added the gold later, which does... I see, that's why. It's because it looked like a mixture of digital and traditional. It's because it was. Sorry, just catching up on the chat there. Yeah, really nice. I like the design of the staff here. I think, like I said, that would be a really fun magic item in like a 5e setting or something like that. And it's always interesting to see a mad scientist type. I'm always interested in stuff like that. It's just with the gold panel inlaid in the arm. Interesting. Yeah, that would probably cause some real issues there. That explains the gold blight. Poor guy. I wish him all the best of luck with his scientific endeavours, and I do like his little colour scheme here with like a little ruffled neckerchief and stuff like that. Really nice. And I really like the the spine and kind of like nude back close-ups just to kind of illustrate the gold placement. Really nice stuff. Big fan. Cool. Right, next we have Foxtrot, who's done 2 pieces. First is a Warden, Jonathan Wolf. I think that's an F. Or is that a... I think that's an F. Wolf. Please correct me if it's not an F. I'm terrible at reading handwriting. I have to apologise to you guys. 41. Okay, we've got a little bit more experience, guy. Bodyguard and Taylor's son. He, him. I love this. I love these action shots. This is a real character sheet right here. I love all these details on his belt and stuff. I am flagging so hard. I'm so sorry. I should have done this in 2 parts. It's been almost 3 hours. Let's keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to look at them all. I want to uplift all the artists. And what I'll probably do some point this week or tomorrow is I'll go back through. Oh, no, I'm not going to promise this. I'm not going to promise to go back through and timestamp all of them. I can't. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me. This looks great. Love the buckles. Love this little quilting design. I love the little boot covers. Big fan of the boot covers. Ooh, there is a police car out the front. What's that all about? Nope, it's gone away. Okay. Okay. This is nice, a little neckerchief design. Real big knife. Love that. Sewing kit. Oh, I love how they've drawn all of these. These look great. These look really nice. Pistol for emergencies only. Spare clothes. And we've got this really nice, like, yeah, I'm just really admiring this. I love the snags, I love the sewing patterns. Someone's saying have a stretch in the chat. I will. Yeah, really beautiful work. Really nicely done, Foxtrot. Let's have a look at Jonathan first, though. Jonathan acts as a scout, specifically being trained to spot and recruit Ornata. However, this always comes with the risk of running into someone who wants nothing to do with the Order, or being asked to scout out if an opposing threat has an Ornata on their side. Yeah, absolutely. Because of this, John is very good at self-defense. One-on-one combat, though he'd rather avoid it. Nice, okay, we've got kind of a bit of a diplomat scouting role there, where he might have to talk with people, talk his way out of a scenario, and then if not, he's got to defend himself, right? I like it. His big coat plays an important role in this, tailored by himself. Oh, I was wondering where he was storing all this equipment. The coat has several hidden pockets and is very thick. The sleeves thick and wide enough he can conceal he's holding something within them, but not too big as to badly impede it. Very cool. When not out scouting Ornata, Jonathan tends to help train new recruits and move supplies. He's usually free to act as extra support when needed. Nice, we kind of got like an all-round reliable guy here. 41, he's got a bit of experience, he knows what he's doing, and I love the fact that we've got this tough guy with this tailoring experience. I really like that. Nice juxtaposition. Grumpy and stubborn old man. I like it. I like it. He'd never admit to it, but he's very soft on newer recruits, often helping patch up their clothing, checking they're getting enough to eat and that they are settling in all right. Aww. I love that. I love that there's someone looking out for them, because it's not easy. They are a little left to the wolves, for sure. So it's really nice that they've got someone like Jonathan looking out for them. Will often spend late nights sewing or crafting and fall asleep at his desk. It doesn't help his mood. Well, he doesn't always agree with the Order. The Order elector, yeah, and is not afraid to voice his opinion on them. Jonathan has been with the Order most of his life. I like Jonathan. Jonathan's a good egg. I like him. He feels real. He's got his flaws. He's starting to salt and pepper a little bit here. Kind of getting along in the jaw. Yeah, if he joined at 18, then he would have been in the Ordo Electi at 41 most of his life. Cool. He's a good uncle. Such a nice uncle, says Fluff Noodles. I agree. I like Jonathan. Jonathan's very warm. He's giving gruff, warm uncle vibes. Love it. good for Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan, for your service. And this is Foxtrot's other entry, which is an Ornata called Lila Albi. Or Lila. Ooh, looking like a new recruit, cook's daughter, or used to be. She, they. Left middle finger for the mark. There it is. Very subtle mark there. I love this cute little face. Little wonky teeth. Very cute. Yeah, a lot more humble, a lot more kind of understated compared to Jonathan. Got these plant seeds. I love these very loose sketches and these very excellent like pose sketches. It adds so much like character and movement. I love it. Lila can increase the rate at which plants grow, which is very useful for gathering alchemical supplies and food. But she often struggles to set a specific speed, and the damage or obstruction caused by massive growth isn't. That's really funny, so she could accidentally have it grow way too fast. Furthermore, if the plant doesn't have the nutrients it needs to grow, it will drain her energy to grow instead. Oh, but in an emergency, she can like draw on herself to make it really big. If she's not careful, it can quickly exhaust her. Oh, cool, so she could like, if it doesn't have the right nutrients, she could still make something like grow to the size of a tree. That's really neat. I like that. I can imagine those seeds she carries with her everywhere come in handy. She can like throw them into like cracks in the ground and like make trees, you know, sprout up or something. But also, you know, just a really good utility ability, right? Like you're hungry or you need rare herbs or something like that, and you can get Layla in to kind of come in and make sure that you have what you need. I like it. She'd be very useful. Daughter of a small family of cooks and servants, very excitable and curious, though often overestimates how much she can handle. Yeah, this sounds like a 19-year-old. No offense to any 19-year-olds. At 19, I did not have a good grasp on what I could handle. Well, she learnt to read through her parents' recipes and notes. Nice law-friendly stuff. Not a lot of people are literate in this setting. She's learnt to read through recipes and notes. That would make sense. She can barely write. Mood. Joining the Ordo Electi has certainly helped, but it's just changed it from illegible scratches to just about decipherable mess. Oh, bless her. She joined 18 with her parents' blessing and greatly enjoys being able to help around the place, but despises fighting. Luckily for her, she probably wouldn't be forced to fight unless it was absolutely necessary. If she's more of a plant gal, she's luckily probably be put to work more with the healers. Someone says, I wonder if it works with fat reserves. Yeah, she could, it'd be really interesting to hear more about what part of the energy it steals, if it's like, just it drains you, or if you start to get sick, or yeah, really cool. Aww, what two really adorable characters. Foxtrot, you did a beautiful job. Tell you what, there's only 5 left to go. I'm just going to power through. No need for a break. We're just going to keep on going with the Autumn Dryad. Another one of our mods. Gorgeous work. Oh, the way you guys render gold is so good. Look at this. Head brand. Oh, so this is what's on the side of his head. Her head. My apologies, Astrid. Gorgeous. Oh, I love me a buff lady. Hell yeah, Astrid. Let's go. Mark location estimated. Nice. I like the addition of estimated. I like the implication that, you know, we don't know until she's dead or she loses the hand. Nice. I love the brand on the side of the head. That's a really well rendered, very dwarven almost looking mark. I really like that. And okay, I'm a sucker for a big buff lady. I drew ironmongers. You know this about me. I won't hide it. 50-50 half the time when I play D&D, I'm playing a big buff lady or I'm playing a weird little guy. There's like no in between. Such a cool design, says someone. There's a bit of description in Discord. I can't read full paragraphs of stuff. I am just because I know some of the entries did come with like pages of story. Just to keep it fair, I'm just reading mostly what is just on the image, but if you do have things you want to clarify in the chat, then go for it. And obviously I really do encourage anyone watching who's not in the Discord to head over to the art events section of the Discord and check out what people have done, because it's amazing. So we've got here a warrior and a religious zealot. Pronoun she, her. Says armor is unnecessary and restricting, and she'd rather not rely on weapons that dull and break. Convinced to carry a dagger after not a small amount of convincing. I like that. That's brilliant. Autumn says also didn't know about the conflict in the north, so it's an interesting coincidence that. Ooh, can't wait to read that bit. Right hand knuckles can turn the outer layer of her skin into bronze. The bronze shows remarkable resilience to blades and arrows, but a vulnerability to blunt force. Unclear how she can move when her skin is as hard as treated steel. Ooh, interesting. So very similar to like, Colossus is always metal, but that sort of vibe, right? Like, there's the X-Man woman who can turn her skin into like diamonds and stuff like that. I like that. Well versed in martial skills, even before enlistment. 37, yeah, so she's got a bit of... Let's skip along a little bit. There you go. To some music that's not bardic. Well, not got lyrics. You'd hope at 37, yeah, that she's got some experience. Prefers fisticuffs, but can use most any melee weapon. Yeah, definitely Astrid is giving me break a chair over a man's head sort of vibes, and I love that for her. So right, Autumn, I'll have a quick glance at the chat. It's just I can't obviously read tons of backstory. Has a brand wrapping around the back of her skull. It seems her tribe, of which she speaks, made use of Ornata's property of gold scarring to create an artificial second mark. Interesting, so Astrid is from a group of people that use scarification, which is a thing and is also a thing with some people in this setting. So it would make sense as an Ornata that her scarification would then come out gold if it was deep enough. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully it didn't take her too many attempts to realise how deep she needed to put it, poor thing. Though Astrid seems pretty tough, so maybe that wouldn't matter too much. It says here, Northern Coast, their tribe, they're blessed by a goddess. The martial tradition arose, says Autumn, due to their village being nearly constantly under siege. Cool, I like her. She's really fun. I like me a big, strong, buff lady. I think they're cool. I think big, strong, buff ladies are cool, and we need all of them in fiction, because they are always a good time had by all. 1 second, just adjusting a few things on Discord. Really beautiful work, love the line art. I like that you've also paid attention to what a lot of people do when they draw very muscular women, is they will tend to give them a very, very pronounced chest. And it's not that you lose your chest, but you tend to lose some of that definition when you get buffer, because you're obviously laying muscle and pectorals and all of that. Not always, but tend to. And so, yeah, she's got like very proportionate build here, which is very cool. I like that a lot. Really nice. Yeah, and I'm just having a little peek in the chat here, so, and in the description. Yeah, that's... thank you for... Oh, and Autumn has actually copy-pasted it across into the chat. Perfect. That saves me having to hop back and forth too many times. Yeah, I really like this. This is really cool. You can definitely feel where she's come from and what she's working towards. She's got her flaws. I like that they had to threaten her or convince her and beg her to use a dagger. I think that's really fun. Really lovely entry. Thank you so much, Autumn. I love it. Right. Next up. We have 2 entries or submissions from Lil Prince. Thank you, Lil Prince. The first one is Leah. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Malik Farenda. Please, in the comments section of the upload of this or the video or the chat, just correct me if I don't say your character's names the way you envision. It's the one downside of drawing from tons of different real-world cultures, is they all pronounce things differently. He, him, the son of a seafaring merchant enterprise. I think we have another. I think Astrid might have a friend here. I think we might have some more scarification, which is very cool. His gold ring, anklet, and earrings, all of which were gifts. Very nice, very posh. Merchant, checks out. From his father, a ring, which amplifies abilities. From his mother, an anklet. Ooh, there's lots of very, very rare, expensive equipment. From his leather, 2 thin hoop earrings. Ah, especially made to resonate with one another. Very cool. Let's see what they can do. Age 25, sorry, don't know if I highlighted that before. Patchy pigmentation of 3 sets of his ribs. Oh, so these are meant to be his marks. I thought this was like, because it's usually one blob, I thought this was like scarification. But the scar is the one on his forehead, I see. Yeah, typically, oh, and the one on his neck, obviously. Yeah, typically it's just one big blob, so I thought this was, my apologies, Little Prince, I thought those were marks. Oh, that's the scar, got you. When engaging in physical activity, his heart, lungs, and arteries all become enlarged. Okay, his respiratory rate increases to 150 breaths per minute, matching that of a cheetah. Oh, that's very neat, I like that. And the lowest his heart rate could possibly be is 120. Ooh, wow, so he really cannot turn it off when he's like on it. He can use this to do anything from moving a bit faster in a fight to more extreme things like walking on water, or going into areas with poisonous gases without as much damage to his internal. Oh, so he could like hold his breath for longer or something like that. Okay. His body cannot handle the stress of that sort of thing for long, and he'll feel the negative effects relatively quickly. Okay, it's a little bit of a glass cannon. Intense head and rib pain, nausea, irritation, aggression, and delirium. Oh gosh. In this state, his over-oxygenated blood is very thin, and he tries to end fights as quickly as possible. Oh yeah, because he could bleed out, yeah, if he becomes too dehydrated to function. He once garnered attention with his ability, but it simply has too many drawbacks for him to be able to rise the ranks. He usually gets assigned rescue escort. Oh, interesting. So they tried to maybe get him to wear himself into the ground, and it just wasn't working out for him, bless. Poor guy. Oh, someone just in the comment says it's pronounced like, oh, it's pronounced like liar. Okay, got you. My son, that's my boy, says Fluff Noodles. Oh, do you prefer Fluff Noodles or Little Prince? I didn't know which username to go with. His markings are purposefully strange, says the original artist. Cool. No, that wasn't a dig. It's just, you know, like I said, I was just sorry that I mistook one for the other. Note, Liar was not good at hiding his markings when young. Yeah, they're very prominent. Fell victim to many kidnapping and assassination plots, which is where his scars come from. At first, his father cared for him and indulged him in every way, but eventually got frustrated, constantly having his bit. Yeah, I can imagine that eventually he might grow a little tired of it. He told Liar, either go get your abilities awakened or make yourself useful. Oh no. He met his lover Dion in Enavas after arriving at the port with the intent to join the Order Electi 4 years ago. Liar has just completed his mandatory service, but is choosing to remain so he can run field tests for whatever new thing Dion has made. Ah yes, the one who gifted him the earrings. Really nice. So this is someone who's just hit the end of his service, but it's like, you know what? I'm gonna stay on. I like that. That's very cool. I really love the design of the outfit here. This is giving very, it's reading very like Dionysus and Hades game sort of thing. Really like that. Hey, got to go, see y'all later, says Fury Hound the Devil Dog. See y'all later. Let's see the second one of Fluff Noodles / Little Prince's works, which is Dion, who is the one that was just mentioned. Dion Del Crest. He it 27, alchemist. His mother is also an alchemist. I'm sure his mother is very proud. Love it. I like the detail here. Only the deepest bits have gone gold. So lots of superficial burns or markings going on here. Cool. A purple mask made of many different fabrics. Yeah, purple would really stand out in the setting. It's quite a rich colour. Especially the sensitive burn scars from any further injury. Gift from his mother. Also gave him spares. Aw, the magnifying lens that fits into the mask and helps there when working with small things. Empty bottles to put useful things into, including various plants or Vitae solutions. There's Vitae. All knuckles on both hands for the marks. Yes, we can see that. Whoosh down here. Beautiful. I love this little, like, very cute work of him, and then this more detailed. I love how you've done the hair. It's very lush. It's full of a lot of texture. Really like that hair. I want to pet it. It's so curly. You're not meant to pet people's hair, but I definitely have friends whose hair I want to brush, and Dion is up there for sure. Extremely wrong perception of magic, but only in its inactive state and only through direct touch. Oh, it's strong. I thought I said wrong. Sorry. Strong perception of magic, but only in its inactive state and only through direct touch. He can feel this with his entire body, but is most effective through his hands. Oh, hence why it's the knuckles on his hand. If a person were to push past him with their shoulder, he would experience mild discomfort if they are ornata, but only if they aren't. Oh, interesting. Only if they aren't awakened. He cannot perceive magic in those awakened or in enchanted objects. Interesting. So kind of the opposite of someone we had earlier who could only see awakened ornata. Ooh. Let them fight. The Ordo Electi once wished to find other applications of this ability. Then he then became an alchemist and uses it to process botanical. That's such a clever idea. I really like that, the idea of like finding your niche. That initially, there's this whole thing of like, oh, we can use it to get people, and then it's like actually, Dion is better suited to kind of sussing out like untapped potential in plants. I think that's a really neat idea. I really like that. It's creative and it's playing around with the limitations of him and the setting. He's now providing enough to the organisation for them to prefer he stays as he is. Good for Dion. Good for Dion. Love that. The entire half of his body is burnt because of his ability. During the process of making Vitae, he was not wearing any safety. Oh, Dion. That exploded and caused permanent damage. Oh. The assistant only strengthens passion for figuring out how how solutions work and how ornata function. He greatly admires doctors regardless of their specifications and always tries to keep up with any medical developments. As an alchemist, his strongest skill is making solutions, and he struggles immensely with imbuing will. I really like that. I like that you thought about how some alchemists aren't jacks of all trades and they're only good with certain points in the process. I think that's really cool. I like how Dion is someone who is excellent at one part of it, but maybe would either struggle with it or need to like pay someone else to come in to do other parts of it for him. I think that's a really nice attention to detail. I like that. Only interest in life is medical conditions and interesting physique. His father is in the Last Exodus and views. Oh no, yeah, the Last Exodus are very. They are very strict and ascetic, and so yes, I can imagine Dion clashing quite a bit with his father, bless him. I do like that his mother gifted him his mask and pieces and stuff like that, though. I think that's really lovely. Hey, good for Dion. I hope, I hope things work out for Dion and Lyra. Really nice entries. Thank you so much for that. Fluff Noodle says, in the stories I'm writing, there's more things. Ooh, I briefly lost connection there. According to OBS, can you still hear me? Am I still coming through okay? I do apologise. Stand by for some technical difficulties. Cool. OBS briefly... Hey, good. OBS briefly lost signal there. So we got Mugisa Osentuyi, and which came with the disclaimer that imagines this character is from the same country as Kasembo Aloe, which is awesome. Because Kasembo is, she's not in a video yet, but she was someone I was drawing on previous streams, so it's really cool. This is from Aroshio. It has done an excellent job with this, and I can't wait to reveal more about Kasembo and therefore Mugisa's country of origins. That's awesome. Thank you so much for kind of trying to fit him into the world there. age 23, son of a merchant. He, him. I already have a guess. This is a very neat way of doing this. I really like that. And I love his outfit. Look at that little half-shoulder cape. He's got the drip. Look at that. There's his markings. Love that this guy's dripped out. Look at this. I love the little detail of like the little slits in the vest and like the little twining. But then you've got like the beads, a little bit piratey, a little bit well-traveled. Big fan. Really like this. This looks neat. Right, let's have a read. Got a pouch on his belt with small vials of different scents. For him to sniff and refill his ability. Ooh, can't wait to read how that ties in. A notebook where he notes down different scents. He's very interested in scent. I'm getting real perfume, that movie, Scent of a Murder, whatever it's called. The notebook also includes notes about his training, as well as random sketches, and a dagger from his homeland, which I'm assuming is hidden under here for stabbing purposes. Look at this guy, he looks great. Thumb, part of palm, and 3 fingers on his right hand. Gorgeous, look at that. Mugisa can produce a scent that he's smelled before by making a circle. That's so neat. Circle with his fingers. I'm doing it with my hand as we speak. Thumb on his right hand and blowing into it. His breath is that's genuinely so cool. I love that. His breath is converted and produces copious amounts of a mysterious gas of the exact scent. It's also possible to intensify the scent. Scents can only be produced after being stored mentally, and there's a limit, because I can imagine it's based on his memory and how much he can put out before it runs out. Both of these limits can improve with training. Once he runs out of a scent, he would have to smell it again to refill it, hence why he's got things to help refresh his memory. Ooh, you could do a lot of skullduggery with that. That's so cool. So you could have, like, for example, him pretending that there's like the smell of, I don't know, gunpowder or a gas leak or fire. Or you could like make people feel sick, or that is very cool. That's a really fun ability. I really like that. That's weird. It's specific, but it's got a lot of application, if you know what I mean. You could mess with some people. Get Mugisa teaming up with like one of the interrogating wardens or Ornata we saw earlier, make them think that they're somewhere that they're not. That'd be really cool. Mugisa joined the Ordo Electi to make a name for himself. Ooh, let us skip along something non-lyrical. Working for his cruel father's business. Ooh, yes, son of a merchant, checks out. From using foul odours to clear out buildings, or making enemies cough, feel nauseous and dizzy in a fight, to luring animals, producing a food aroma, or even evading tracking. This is so clever. Evading tracking dogs by masking his and his comrades' smell. His awakened ability turned out to be very versatile. That's very fun. I really, really like that. Orotio or Orochio. That's real neat. This is mine, says Reblaze. I really like this Reblaze. This is really nice. Seriously, like, really sick idea, very subtle. But I think that really works. Like you say, it's in his description, it's super versatile, it's really fun. I like that you've tied him into the setting in such a subtle but nice way. I promise you'll be the first to know when we get Kisembo's kind of culture dug into a little more. But for now, he is an Ordo Electi, and he is looking very, like, at home in the Enavasian garb there. Good for him. He's looking real cool. I like him a lot. Absolutely grand character, as people say. Yeah, I just love me a fun, silly, creative time, and that's exactly what we've got here. Really good stuff. Right. Can you believe it? Ladies, gents, germs, and everyone in between, that we are on our final submission, where someone has put both of their 2 submissions into one. I believe a pair of twins. And so our final submission here is from Luma. Let's have a look. And our final one, I believe, this is either a really gorgeous pencil brush, like digital one, in which case, oh my gosh, please tell me where you got it from. Or this is a gorgeously scanned and cut out traditional piece. Either way, I think it might be digital just because I'm seeing some like eraser tool being used here, but it's gorgeous either way. Really like the texture on this. Interesting. So this is really fun because I've had a lot of people asking about twins and how, you know, like conjoined twins would work and fraternal twins and identical twins, and the answer is I don't know at the minute. And so it's amazing to see people offer their own interpretation of how twins would work. So I am really grateful that people are so enthused and willing to kind of like play around with things, and it gives me ideas, it helps me out a bunch, so thank you for that. Love this little kind of split skirt here, that's really nice. They have put a little disclaimer saying they're sorry it's rushed or unfinished, totally fine, don't you worry about it, Luma. They can be separated in two different characters. No, it's fine, you can keep them together. Cool idea, conjoined twins separated. Amazing, Luma, thank you. And kudos, sorry, I'm just adjusting my chair. It's a bit hot here at the minute, so I'm just squeaking and moving. Kudos to Luma, and kudos to a lot of people, Autumn Dryad, Arotio, Little Prince, a few of the others who kind of had to do what I sometimes have to do when I need to get a video posted, which is just let go of something and just post whatever you've got. And I am really grateful that everyone in the art community felt able to share things. Luma is in the chat and I totally missed you, I'm so sorry. Procreate, says Luma. Amazing, that explains it. It's a really gorgeous brush texture. I do like the look of the brushes in Procreate. For those of you watching the replay of this, Luma is dropping some of the lore about these guys into the chat, so check that out. I'm going to kind of just skim the Cliff Notes version, but very cool. We've got, oh, I did it wrong, there we go, sorry. Lunara and Aurora 23, she, her, both of them. Lunara as a moonstone necklace and a sun-themed pocket watch for Aurora. And in the chat, I'm being told that is because they were born on an eclipse. That's very cool. I like that. Mark, the shoulder, they were conjoined at birth, so I'm assuming this one. I was going to say joined at the hip, and that joke does not work because it was the shoulder. I'm stupid. Lunara can cloak, make herself invisible. Aurora's aura can make her stronger and damage resistant. Interesting. You know what this is giving me vibes of, Luma, and I mean this as the utmost compliment because it's literally saved on my Disney Plus and I'm gonna watch it soon, is the Twitches. If anyone remembers the Twitches, it was a direct-to-TV movie on the Disney Channel about twins. It's the classic thing, twins separated at birth, they're secretly magical, and one of them comes alive at night and has moon powers and the other one has sun powers, and this feels gloriously nostalgic. These guys are giving like real like fun pulp adventure vibes in their outfit. I love that. I'm a big fan of that. You know, Golden Bone is very pulpy in areas, so this is mwah, perfect. That's real nice. Okay, and Lunara left an Aurora, right? So Lunara, Aurora were conjoined at birth under an eclipse. They were separated young when they were... Ooh, interesting. So obviously this is a setting where they don't know how germs work, so they are very fortunate to have been able to have been separated. Good for them. Please feel free to come with your own ideas and interpretations. No. Sorry for bad... Honestly, your handwriting is better than mine, Luma. You have nothing to... Do not apologise. It looks great. And I... Seriously, if you're listening to this or watching this later, check out the chat. Luma's got their lore for this on it, and it's not up to me. This is their characters, this is their interpretation, this is their exploration. Check out their lore description. I love it. Really nice. What a great one to end on. Just something fun, interesting. I love this pose with them. One's a little more demure maybe than the other one's a little bit more outgoing. You've got like this really nice little link to arm pose. I'm a really big fan of that. That feels really nice. you get a feeling of their closeness, but also the fact their shoulder is touching. I was just double checking. That is really, really nice. I really like that. What a great one to end on. Thank you for that. I'm just reading the chat. Autumn plans to do a full render of Astrid. Amazing. Good. Can't wait to see more. Someone has watched Twitches. Amazing. Someone loves the Sun and Moon twin stuff. Me too. BB draws. Daytime twin. Fighter of the night twin. I feel sorry for their mother. Oh no. I think Small Brit may be running out of... Oh dear. Am I back? Oh dear. Yeah, I think my RAM may be rapidly approaching its end. I have been streaming for 3.5 hours. I'm very, very tired. I'm very, very exhausted. But you know what? I cannot overstate how I don't want to rush this ending too much. More than anything, I am flattered and overwhelmed. I mean, look, here we go. We're going to do a final flick through. You ready for this? Look at that. Look what this beautiful creative community have managed to create. All of these amazing ideas that you guys have come up with, all of these fascinating explorations, things that could be 100% their own setting, things that could be their own story, things that could be their own book. Some of these people have never drawn digitally or have never uploaded or scanned something before, and this is what we ended up with. I mean, that's kind of amazing, right? So yeah, I can't overstate how flattered I am. Literally, time for a little bit of like soppiness while the music literally goes really soppy and before my RAM fully dies. December last year, less than a year ago, I put up a video, go to sleep and wake up, to find it has so many views. And the fact that it has, I have now been able to take the place of where I am the one inspiring other people to do digital art, and remembering being in that position once upon a time, is genuinely quite an emotional thing for me, in a good way. And so the fact that we have been able to do all of this stuff together is genuinely just mwah. I can't thank you enough. I'm gonna probably go watch some Dimension 20 and have a cold beverage. I encourage you guys to go treat yourself to a little something nice, whatever time zone you're in. Go get a hot drink, you know, what have you. And yeah, just thank you so much for being so creative and lovely and kind and positive, and I'm very lucky to have you. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to pick either, chat. I agree. So I'm going to leave you to it. Noddy has been staring at me the doorway for like half an hour because I think he wants late night treats. So I'm going to go give him some late night treats, and I'm going to give all of you a big mwah. Thank you so much. All right, take care, my lovelies.